A service of KIVMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio. A service of KIVMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Lifebuoy Health Soap presents Big Town.
Extra hero about Prelude to Christmas. Tonight's Big Town story brought to you by Lifebuoy Health Soap, used in the homes of 40 million Americans. Extra.
Lifebuoy Health Soap presents Big Town, the headline stories of a great city dramatically reported by Steve Wilson, fighting managing editor whose creed, as with all great newsmen, is emblazoned on the masthead of the Illustrated Press.
The power and the freedom of the press is a flaming sword, that it may be a faithful servant of all the people, use it justly, hold it high, guard it well.
Now to Big Town, and Steve Wilson's timely and touching story of a child's simple faith, and captioned Prelude to Christmas. This is the story of the eternal struggle of faith against fear in the mind of a child, and began as 10-year-old Greta Vilna and her father, two of 1,000 displaced persons from the shambles of Central Europe, stood at the rail of a mercy ship as it steamed into Big Town Harbor.
Papa, I am frightened. Why are all the little boats blowing their whistles at us? Are they going to send us away from America? Make us go back?
No, Greta, my darling one. That is the great heart of America welcoming us.
But, Papa, what of the boat with officials in uniform?
What of them, my child?
Except for the American GI soldiers at RDP camp, I am afraid of officials in uniforms, Papa.
You must not be afraid anymore, my darling.
But, Papa, it was officials of the government who came and took you from your newspaper, and Mama from our home, and Mama died.
There, my darling. That is over, finished, done. We must remember, and yet we must forget.
But the officials, they come to question us.
Yes, but also to welcome us, like the little boats out there. And you must not be afraid, for here in America, the officials of the government are the servants of the people, not the people slaves of the officials.
But we are not Americans.
No, but we are guests of the people of America. Through their Congress, they have invited us here to live and work and pursue happiness. And if we are worthy of their faith in us, we can one day become citizens of this great land.
Like Uncle Peter in Oregon?
Yes, Greta. And like your Aunt Reba, who lives in Big Town, who will be waiting for us at the dock.
But, Papa, what if something is wrong? If there is another mistake and we are sent back?
It will not happen. You must not be afraid, Greta.
I want to have faith. I do not want to be afraid anymore, but so much has happened.
I know, my darling. Your little lifetime has been filled with tragedy and sorrow, but we must forget what has been. Look to the future.
I'll try, Papa.
Come, my darling. Dry your eyes. Some gentlemen are coming this way. One with a camera to take pictures, perhaps for the American newspapers.
But why would they want to take a picture of us, Papa?
Because you are a very pretty little girl, young lady. Get a good picture, Dusty.
Oh, how could I miss? Hello, young lady. Can I shoot you?
Shoot me. Oh, Papa.
It's all right, Greta. The gentleman means may it be a picture of you.
Oh, yes. I remember now. In our camp, the GI soldier said, shoot for almost everything. It is American slang.
That's right, young lady. And I beg your pardon, sir, but the ship's captain tells me you're Gregory Vilna, a newspaper editor imprisoned by the Nazis.
Yes.
Oh, Papa, be careful what you say.
Greta, do not be afraid. No harm will come of speaking here. Is that not so, sir?
Yes, thank heaven. And now, young lady, if you let my photographer take some pictures of you while I talk to your father.
Yes, sweetheart. Come over here to the rail and I'll shoot you. I mean, take your picture looking at the big town skyline. And try to look impressed, even if it is only a pile of stone.
But I am very impressed, Mr. Cameraman.
Your photographer, he understands children.
Yes, in spite of the fact that his specialty is criminals.
Criminals? And you, sir?
Well, I'm Steve Wilson, managing editor of the Big Town Illustrated Press, Mr. Vilna. And I'm hoping you'll come to my office.
Your office?
We'd like to do a story on your experiences in the Polish underground.
Oh, I would be most happy, Mr. Wilson, but in only 2 days, Greta and I must take the train for Oregon.
Well, could you come to the Illustrated Press about 6 tomorrow evening?
Yes, Mr. Wilson. At 6 I will be there without fail.
Oh, Papa, Mr. Dusty, the photographer, has told me I will soon see Christmas trees and many helpers of St. Nicholas, which my GI friends called Sandy Claus.
Santa Claus, sweetheart. And Big Town is just crawling with them this time of year.
Yes, Greta. And if you'll come along with your father to my office tomorrow evening, I'll have Dusty take you out to meet some of Santa Claus' helpers.
To your office? Papa must go to your office?
Yes, Greta, but just for a little talk.
Oh, no, Papa. It was just for a little talk. You went at home and they put you in prison.
Not here, my dear.
And Mama, for food rations, she went and never came back. Never came back.
Not here, my darling. Don't be afraid. Not here. It will not happen here.
Oh, excuse me a moment, Mr. Vilna, my private wire.
But of course, Mr. Wilson.
Steve Wilson, Illustrated Press. Oh, Lorelei, where are you? I thought you'd be on the Washington Plain. Senate reorganizations? Yes, stay there. I have a special feature I wanted you to do, but I'll cover it. Look out for those Washington wolves, my lovely. Just call me later tonight.
You're a feature writer?
Yes, and a very good one, Mr. Vilna. But I have most of the facts, and I'll do the article on you myself.
Oh, I'm honored, Mr. Wilson.
I am the one who is honored, Mr. Vilna, in being able to publish the story of a newspaper editor who sacrificed everything in defending the freedom of the press.
Well, there were many of us, Mr. Wilson. We did what we could to stem the tide of tyranny, but tragically, it marches on. Tyranny does not die in battle so long as it lives in the hearts of man. And so long as fear and the memory of fear haunts the spirit of the living as with my little Greta.
Yes, what about your daughter, Greta? I hoped you'd bring her with you.
No, poor little Greta. For so long as she can remember, she has lived in the shadow of fear. She has suffered hunger, witnessed horror. She walked with death. Only joy she does not know. I have never heard her laugh.
Well, in time she will, Mr. Vilna. In time.
That I pray. And she yet has faith in God. That they could not destroy, and it fights her fear even of my coming here to visit you.
Oh, of course you'd be worried until you return, and I mustn't keep you.
Yes, I must go, for my sister has prepared a surprise for Greta. A complete Christmas, although it is not yet time.
A complete Christmas?
Yes. You see, we will be on the long train ride to my brother's home in Oregon, and Greta fears Shanty Mikolai, St. Nicholas, will not be able to find us on the train. So tonight we pretend and celebrate, as is our custom in the old country, Christmas Eve with a fine dinner, a beautiful decorated tree, and presents for Greta.
That's a wonderful idea, Mr. Vilna.
Would you come, Mr. Wilson? Would you honor us?
Could I come later?
If you would.
Well, as soon as I check a few things with my city editor, Mr. Vilna. Just a minute. Yes? Yes, Mr. Vilna's here. Who's calling? Liba Vucic?
My sister? Why should she call me here?
Well, here, you'd better talk to her, Mr. Vucic. She sounds upset.
Thank you. Hello? What is it, Riva? Greta? No, she's not here. You've looked in the neighborhood? Oh, my poor darling. If she is lost, she will become more frightened in this great city. Yes, I will come at once. Mr. Wilson, Greta became frightened I might not come back. She tried to follow me, wished to share my fate, and now she is lost. In the snow and darkness of this vast city, she is lost.
Thus, haunted by fear for her father, Greta Vilna, a stranger in a strange land, wanders the streets of Big Town. And for the heartwarming adventures that await her, we'll return in a moment. You know, some people think all soaps are the same. Not me. I always felt that Lifebuoy Health Soap got me cleaner somehow. And now I know I'm right. Because doctors have actually proved it in 820 scientific tests. Yes, after comparing the effects of daily baths with different soaps, these doctors made this amazing statement. Actually, you're cleaner, safer from BO when you bathe daily with Lifebuoy than when you bathe with any other leading soap. Startling, isn't it? Well, here's the explanation. Lifebuoy does more than just remove the grime and perspiration you can see. Lifebuoy is more effective than any other leading soap in removing the invisible dirt that can form a foothold for BO. Lifebuoy gets you even cleaner than the eye can see. After 820 scientific tests, these doctors say that Lifebuoy's purifying ingredient makes the difference. And this same purifying ingredient actually makes Lifebuoy milder, safe even for a baby's tender skin. So enjoy a refreshing Lifebuoy bath every day. You'll like Lifebuoy's creamy rich lather, its wonderful mildness. Get some Lifebuoy tomorrow. Now, back to Big Town and Steve Wilson's story captioned Prelude to Christmas. While talking to Gregory Vilna, editor and hero of The Underground, who has just arrived in America with a group of displaced persons, Steve learns that Vilna's daughter is lost. Meanwhile, on a cold street corner on the south side of Big Town, a character by the name of Willie the Weep, dressed in a moth-eaten Santa Claus costume, is trying to collect money for the Illustrated Press Christmas Fund.
Give, folks. Give a little to poor old Santa Claus. Give what you can so them that ain't got hardly anything at all can have a little Christmas cheer. Give.
Santa Claus. Oh, Santa Claus, please help me.
Great day. What are you doing out alone in all this dark and snow and cold, little girl?
I am looking for my father. Please help me.
Sure, I will. But you oughtn't to be out alone in the cold and the snow.
I'm not afraid of the cold or the dark. All my life I've lived in the cold and the dark.
Well, who are you, little girl?
I am Greta Vilna. Please help me, Santa Claus.
Sure, I will. But where do you live?
I don't live anywhere now.
Not anywhere?
Once I lived in Europe, and I am on my way to Oregon on a train tomorrow.
But where are you staying in Big Town?
With my Aunt Reba.
Aunt Reba who?
I can't remember her married name.
Where does she live?
I don't know.
Don't you know the house or the street?
There are so many houses, all alike. So many streets all alike.
Oh, you poor little girl, this is terrible.
Please don't cry for me, Santa Claus. I'm not afraid for myself, only for my papa.
Where's your papa gone?
To a newspaper office.
A newspaper office? What newspaper?
I can't remember, but he had to go. And I'm afraid they'll send him away to prison like they did at home.
No, they won't, miss. Newspapers don't ever send nobody to prison in America. They only try to help the police. The police. That's where I better take you, miss. To the police station.
Oh, no. Please, no, Santa Claus. I'm afraid of police stations.
Why?
Because people who go to police stations hardly ever come home again.
Not here, miss. Why, if that was so in America, there wouldn't be enough jails to hold them. Now, you come on. I gotta get you out of this cold and snow.
No. Please, Santa Claus. Don't take me to the police station. Please help me find my papa.
All right, miss. I know a newspaper fellow what can find almost anybody. You come along, and I'll bet he'll help you to find your papa.
Oh, Gregory, you're here. Oh, Gregory, I'm sorry. I could not stop it.
No news then, Reba?
Ani Slava. Nothing.
It is not your fault, Reba, and Greta will be found.
Found? But how?
My good friend here, Mr. Wilson, has the police searching, also his reporters and photographers.
Yes, and I'm sure we'll have some word soon, Mrs. Wuchek.
But in this great city, so many things can happen. Terrible things.
And also wonderful things as well.
Oh, if only there was something we could do. I keep praying. Oh, Boże drogi, usłysz o Bogu.
Prayer? Mr. Wilson, I have a thought of where to look for Greta.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Vilna? We'll try anything.
A church in our home city. Even after it was bombed, Greta, when she was troubled and afraid, went to the rubble and ruin of our cathedral and prayed.
Yes, lost, fearful of your safety, she might go into one of the churches in this neighborhood.
Yes, any church, any house of God. It would make no difference to a child seeking souls.
Oh, to any of us, Mr. Vilna. And they're all open, preparing for holiday services. Come on, Mr. Vilna. I told Harry the hack to wait downstairs with his cab. We'll make the rounds.
Yes, go. Gregory, friends, go. Hurry. I will wait here and pray that you find her.
I am sure we shall find her, Reba. We will call you when we do.
And you can take the turkey out of the oven, the presents out of the closets, and light the tree for Greta's very special Christmas.
Come on, little girl.
Is it much, Father, to your newspaper friend who can help find my Papa, Santa Claus?
Yeah, but we're going to stop at my friend's Mozart's Harbor Cafe and get you warm while I borrow a taxi fare to take you to my friend, Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson? I have heard that name.
He's kind of important on account...
Oh, wait, Santa Claus. Listen.
Listen to what?
To the music. The church music. Holy music. It's coming from that cellar right there.
Oh, that's just a little old waterfront mission run by a poor old blind preacher folks calls a prophet.
Please take me in there a minute, Santa Claus.
But I thought you wanted to find your papa in a hurry.
I do. And I want to ask God to help us. Pray to God to help us. Please, Santa Claus, please.
All right, Miss Greta.
Please come in with me and help me pray to find Papa.
All right, but you'll have to help me, because I guess I just about forgot how to pray. Almost.
Come ye, faithful to the fold. If thy spirit be troubled with doubt, let him, whom those among us call God, Jehovah, Allah, or some other name of faith, let him lift up thy weary spirits on the wings of prayer, in whatever tongue thou hast been taught to speak his words of faith. Amen.
Please, Mr. Willie, kneel with me and help me pray.
You start praying, Miss Greta. That's my friend Mozart playing the harmonium for the prophet. I want to ask him something.
All right, but please come back.
I'll be right back.
Oh, Holy Father, please help me find my own dear earthly Father.
Willie the Weep, what are you doing here?
I found a little girl was lost, Mozart. I was on my way to your cafe to borrow a cab fare to take her to Mr. Wilson when she heard you playing holy music and wanted to come in here to pray.
Well, the prophet's oven is to 6, so I came down to help you out. Who's the kid?
One of them poor, misplaced people that come in on that boat yesterday.
Displaced? DP. How'd she get lost?
Looking for her father, what used to be a newspaper man, and she's afraid he's been arrested or shot or something. She's had an awful time, and she's just afraid of about everything, Mozart.
I shouldn't wonder, poor kid.
So I figured Mr. Wilson could help find her father quicker than anybody else in Big Town.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go on back and phone him, Willie.
All right, but could you lend me a nickel, Mozart? I'm kind of broke, except for this money I've collected for the Illustrated Press Christmas Fund. And that's for presents for the poor kids, and I can't use any of it.
Somebody ought to make you a bank president, Willie. Here's a nickel. Now you go make that call.
Say, boss.
Yeah, say it, Harry, but keep your eye peeled for the next church.
Well, there's a little one in the next block, and I sure hope we have better luck than we did with the other 3.
It would not matter to Greta what kind of church. In Europe, those who have been able to cling to their faith are fortunate to find a ruin in which to worship.
Here you are. That sounds like they're practicing Christmas hymns.
Yes. Will you go in and look for Greta, Mr. Vilna?
Yes. If she's here, she will be sitting quietly, praying. That I know for sure.
Poor guy, Mr. Wilson. He's scared and he's trying not to show it.
I'm worried, too, Harry. But everything's being done that can be done.
A lot can happen to a kid in this hard-boiled town.
Well, we deal too much with the seamy side, Harry. Actually, the people of a big town are no worse than other people the world over.
Yeah, more good than bad, even in the seamy ones. I guess we kind of forget that.
Yeah? We forget a lot of things, Harry. That we only remember this time of year.
Yeah. Still snowing. Makes the old town kind of pretty, almost.
Yes. It hides and softens the man-made ugliness.
He's coming out, boss, without the kid. Poor guy.
Now start your motor, Harry. We'll try the next church.
She's not there, Mr. Wilson. Greta's not there. Not there.
Boss, there's a synagogue in the next block and a Catholic church on the corner.
Well, drive on, Harry. Stop at both of them.
Okay, boss.
No, Mr. Wilson. Not here. Not here. My Greta is not here.
Dominus vobiscum et cum spiritu tuo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vilna. Greta is not here.
Sorry, boss. We tried every church in this neighborhood.
No, Harry. Wait a minute. There's one we've forgotten.
Which one?
The Blind Prophet's Mission.
Golly, yeah, it's around the next corner, just an old basement, but the kid might have passed that way.
Make the turn. We'll try it, Harry.
A basement. Our church at home was nothing but a basement when the bombs were finished. Greta went there many times. It was the only church she ever knew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there it is. Let's go in.
Oh, the music, the voices. They would draw my Greta to them out of the night.
Mr. Wilson, I've been trying to phone you.
Willie, the weep. Look, Willie, have you seen anything of a little lost girl?
I sure have, Mr. Wilson. I found her.
You found her? You found my Greta?
Yeah. She's with the prophet, and he's been helping her pray we'd find you. And she's right in here.
Oh, thank heavens, and thank you, and bless you all.
Oh, there she is, Mr. Vilna. Kneeling in the last row. Still praying for your safety. We'll wait here and take you home.
Yes, please wait, Mr. Wilson. You and your friend Willie the Santa Claus must come to help us to make Greta's first joys and very special Christmas complete.
Thus, the lost is found and reunited. And in a moment, we'll return to the dramatic and heartwarming climax of Prelude to Christmas. Brought to you by Lifebuoy Health Soap. I'm going to say something you may find startling, but doctors have proved it. Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner. Stops BO as no other leading soap can. Yes, after comparing the effects of daily baths with different soaps, these doctors made this amazing statement. Actually, you're cleaner, safer from BO when you bathe daily with Lifebuoy than when you bathe with any other leading soap. It's Lifebuoy's purifying ingredient that makes the difference. Remember, this purifying ingredient actually makes Lifebuoy milder, safe even for a baby's tender skin. So bathe with Lifebuoy every day. And ask for Lifebuoy in the big new bath size. It's generous, luxurious. Get the new bath size Lifebuoy tomorrow. now, back to Big Town and to Steve Wilson and his companions as they gather in an apartment in Big Town to help a little refugee celebrate, a little ahead of time, the first joyous Christmas she's ever known.
Oh, Papa, when may I take the blindfold from my eyes and see the beautiful tree with all its colored lights?
In a moment, Greta, my darling. But before you do and become so excited you can't speak, you must thank Mr. Wilson and all his friends who helped bring us together again.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And I am sorry I ran away and got lost because I thought you were going to send my father to prison.
You're very, very welcome, Greta. And try to forget the past. Your future is here with us in America. And no matter where you go in this vast land of ours, you need never again live in fear of the things you fled. If you fight with us, all those men of evil who would enslave all mankind.
I won't be afraid anymore, Mr. Wilson. See? I am not even afraid of the blindfold on my eyes, which I remember only on people who are about to die.
Greta, you must forget. Forget all that, my dear.
Yes, Greta. Remember only that it must not happen here, and what you see when your father removes the blindfold will help you.
Please, Papa, take away the blindfold and thank you all for this Christmas I would have missed on the long train ride to Oregon.
Yes, Greta. Now, but I think it is fitting that your good friend Willie the Santa Claus should let you see the tree.
Untie the blindfold, Willie.
All right, Mr. Wilson.
I know the Christmas tree is lighted already, Mr. Willie the Weep.
Yeah, Miss Greta, like a million stars.
I know.
Hold still. I can't get the doggone knot untied.
It doesn't matter. I've been peeping for a long, long time.
There.
Oh, it's the most beautiful Christmas tree in all the world.
Merry Christmas, Greta.
Merry Christmas, Greta.
And so ended Steve Wilson's story of a little girl's prelude to Christmas. And now, before telling you of next week's exciting Big Town story, remember, doctors have proved it. Lifebuoy, with its purifying ingredient, gets skin cleaner. Stops BO as no other leading soap can. Yes, you're cleaner, safer from BO when you bathe daily with Lifebuoy than when you bathe with any other leading soap. Ask for Lifebuoy Health Soap tomorrow. Next week, don't fail to hear another exciting Big Town story, headline Deadly Resolution. The story of a premature New Year resolution. In tonight's dramatization, the part of Steve Wilson was played by Edward Pauley, Lorelei Kilbourne by Fran Carlin, Dusty by Casey Allen, Willie the Weep by Donald McDonald, Mozart by Larry Haynes, The Prophet by Bill Adams, Stephen Schnabel was Gregory Vilna, newsboy Michael O'Day. Jimsy Summers played Greta, and Gloria Stenyu was Reba. Jack Payne is our engineer. John Powers and Weston Conant are sound technicians. James Hayes, production for NBC. Music and arrangements are by John Gart. And Big Town is written and directed by Jerry McGill. Now, this is your narrator, Hugh James, bidding you, on behalf of our sponsors, the Lever Brothers Company, and our entire cast, a very Merry Christmas. And good night until next Tuesday, same time, same station, when you'll hear the Illustrated Press newsboy calling.
Extra, hear all about it. The story of deadly resolution, brought to you by Lifebuoy Health Soap, another fine Lever product. Extra,
New Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Yes, rain or shine, new Rinso with Solium gives your wash an amazing new brilliance. You can dry your wash anywhere, and white clothes will turn out not just whiter, but actually whiter than new. And washable colors not just brighter, but even brighter than brand new. It's because new Rinso contains the scientific sunlight ingredient, Solium. New Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to hands. Find out for yourself how new Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Only new Rinso contains Solium. Today, more women use Rinso than any other wash day soap in the world.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Now, as gunshots echo across the wind-swept, snow-covered reaches of the wild Northwest, Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the breakfast cereal shot from guns, present the challenge of the Yukon. It's Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog of the Northwest, blazing the trail for Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police in his relentless pursuit of lawbreakers.
On King, one, you huskies!
Gold discovered in the Yukon, a stampede to the Klondike and the wild race for riches. Back to the days of the gold rush, with Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, bringing you the adventures of Sergeant Preston and his wonder dog Yukon King as they meet the challenge of the Yukon. Say, the owl is a wise old bird. And here's my idea of someone who's plenty smart, too. It's the fellow or girl who eats a breakfast of Quaker Puffed Rice or Quaker Puffed Wheat with milk or cream and fruit. These king-size, ready-to-serve premium grains of rice or wheat are shot from guns. Yes, actually exploded up to 8 times normal size to make them bigger and better tasting. No fooling, wheat or rice shot from guns is so crisp and tender it melts in your mouth. It's good for you, too. So tomorrow morning, be smart. Enjoy this breakfast treat, Quaker Puffed Rice or Quaker Puffed Wheat. Mrs. Trent held the doll up for Jeff Morton's inspection.
What do you think of her?
Oh, she's beautiful, May. Mary's going to love her. I can't thank you enough.
Why, dressing this doll has made my Christmas for me, Jeff. I'm only sorry that Paul and Mary won't be here tomorrow.
Well, you know what the doctor said. Mary has to stay in bed for a few more days.
Perfectly right. There's no sense in taking chances after the siege she's been through. I'll have her down here for a party on her birthday. Now, do you have everything? Candy?
Well, here.
Cookies?
Here.
And here's the doll. Be careful of her.
You can bet I will.
And be careful of yourself, too. It's a dangerous trail up there in the woods, especially after you hit the creek.
Well, Merry Christmas. I'll see you, May. Thanks again.
Jeff drove out of the little town of Greenwood just as it was getting dark. He followed the Klondike in the direction of Dawson until he neared the mouth of Christmas Creek. He could see a large campfire near the edge of the woods, and thinking it might be some of his friends on their way to Dawson, he drove straight toward it. But the sight of a tall figure lit by the flames made him step on the brake and call out to his team to stop.
Oh there. Gee there. Get around. It's Taranga. Must have escaped from jail. Taranga and his renegades. Get around there.
As Jeff turned his team around, the renegade chief Taranga saw him.
Mush on!
Taranga ordered his men to open fire. One of the bullets hit Jeff in the right leg, but his grip was firm on the crossbar, and he managed to stay on the running board.
I gotta warn the folks in Greenwood. Mush!
He urged his team back along the trail to Greenwood, and his dogs soon carried him out of range of the renegade's guns. But he didn't dare stop and take care of his wound at that moment. On he drove until he saw the 7 buildings that made up the little settlement. When he reached Harry Worth's store, he called out to the team to stop.
Oh there. Oh. Harry!
It was 6-year-old Sonny Worth who opened the door.
Mr. Morton! Get your dad, Sonny, and start ringing the fire bell.
Dad, it's Jeff Morton. He's been hurt. Dad!
What's that? What's the matter, Sonny? Why are you ringing?
Come here, Harry.
Jeff!
I just saw Taranga and about 20 men. What? The mouth of Christmas Creek. You better get everybody into the store. They're heading this way.
You know what you're saying, man.
Of course I do. I saw them. But they haven't got dogs. It'll be a little while.
Hey, you've been wounded.
I stubbed a bullet in my leg. I can walk, though, if you help me.
Where's the fire, Harry? There's no fire. It's Taranga and his renegades. They're heading this way. Everybody into the store. Everybody. Hey, get into the store there. Say, keep that bell ringing.
10 minutes later, all the inhabitants of the little community were standing around Jeff while the doctor bandaged his leg.
I'll be through in a minute, Jeff. You won't be able to move for at least 2 or 3 days.
But my kids, Paul and Mary, I've got to get back to them.
I'll go up there as soon as this is over.
Joe, come on with me.
Right.
You too, Mac. There's guns and ammunition in the storeroom.
Hey, there's a dog team coming into town from the east.
You said Taranga didn't have any dogs, Jeff.
I saw them at Christmas Creek to the west.
I recognize the lead dog. It's King.
It's Sergeant Preston.
On his way back from Lost River.
The sergeant and King were welcomed. Jeff told his story, and the sergeant took charge of the preparations for the siege. Each man was at his post with an extra loaded rifle and a store of ammunition beside him. And all the lamps had been put out when the defenders heard the yells of Taranga's men. The fight began. Taranga tried to rush the building, but his first charge was driven back. Then he split up his followers. They surrounded the store and started creeping toward it.
They aren't giving us much of a target now, but we can still keep them back.
May Trent and Sonny Wood sat close to the wounded Jeff Morton on the floor. One of the renegade shots shattered the glass from a window, and the boy covered his head.
Sonny, I'm scared.
Well, you mustn't be.
What will happen if they get in here?
They won't, Sonny. Do you think the sergeant would let them do that?
You must be brave like him.
All right, I'll try. But it's Christmas Eve, and they spoiled everything.
No one can spoil Christmas Eve.
We're going to have a party. You're going to sing songs and play games.
Well, come on. Let's sing a song right now, then. Let's show Taranga he can't scare us. It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old. Come on, Sonny, sing with me.
All right, we'll show him.
It came upon a midnight clear, that glorious song of old. From angels grand and the earth touched their hearts.
I think they've had enough.
Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's mighty King.
They're clearing out. Hold your fire.
The word in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Oh, that was fine, Sonny.
I think you're right. I'm gone.
Yes. They're heading out of town the way they came. They won't be coming back tonight, but just to be safe, you'd all better stay right here until morning. You men can take turns standing guard.
Okay, Sergeant.
What are you going to do, Sergeant?
King and I will try to make it to Dawson. I'm going there and bring back every man we have in the barracks. Taranga and his crew must be rounded up if there's going to be any peace in the Yukon tomorrow.
Sergeant, I gave my word to Jeff. His boy and girl, Paul and little Mary, they're up there in the hills in his cabin all alone. I promised I'd go and make sure that they were safe.
We'll all go. That isn't a job for one man.
Yes, it is, Harry. I'll stop at the cabin on my way.
You will, Sergeant?
Of course, Jeff. What's more, I'd better take Paul and Mary into Dawson with me.
Is that all right, Doc?
Oh, I guess so. If Mary's bundled up well, better to take a chance on a little cold weather than on Taranga.
But, Sergeant, you don't know where my new cabin is.
Is it far from the old one?
No.
That was at the head of the creek.
Well, yes, at the foot of the hill. There's a trail leading up through the woods. My new place is in a clearing right at the top of the hill.
Yes?
Paul will have a light burning in the window. It'll be easy to find. Maybe too easy. I mean, if those others...
There's no reason to think they're heading in that direction.
But they might.
Oh, heaven forbid.
Heaven will, I'm sure. Don't worry, Jeff. I'll get the children.
Oh, somehow I'm sure you will, Sergeant. Will you take Mary's doll with you?
What?
It's on my sleigh.
Well, the tyke won't have any Christmas at all if Santa doesn't bring her that doll.
Take it to her, Sergeant.
Of course, Jeff.
I'll get it for you.
On, King.
The doll was given to the sergeant, the team was lined up, and he started out of Greenwood.
On, King! Run!
As he turned west on the Klondike, he could hear the little group in the store start to sing. Their voices soon faded in the distance. It was a brilliant night, moon and stars and the northern lights.
green, yellow, and red streaking across the sky. He soon checked the speed of the team.
Easy, King. Easy, boy.
He had let everyone think he intended to head straight for Jeff's cabin and then drive on to Dawson. But his first mission was to find out where Taranga and his men had gone. It was their trail he was following, and it led him straight back to Christmas Creek. At the mouth, he found the site of their old camp. They hadn't stopped there.
Okay, hurry, Huskies. Started up the creek, King. I think we'd better leave the team here, boy, and hide the sled. If they've made camp somewhere up above, we'll have to circle them to get to Jeff's place. Work our way through the forest. All we can hope is that they haven't gone too far.
We'll continue our story in just a moment. I wonder if we're going to have a visitor today. Well, sure enough. And our visitor is a lady. Rather elderly one. Dressed up a bit behind the times. But...
Hello there, young man.
Why, hello.
I'm the old woman who lives in the shoe.
You're what? You're the old woman who lives in the shoe?
Yes, indeed.
Well, I guess the housing shortage is rather bad.
Oh, we don't mind.
We?
Yes, myself and all the children.
Oh, that's right. You're the lady with so many children you don't know what to do.
But I do.
Huh?
I mean, I do know what to do with the children.
I see.
They're really very well behaved nowadays.
Oh?
Especially around breakfast time.
Ah.
Everything's fine now since we started having good breakfast of Quaker puffed wheat and Quaker puffed rice.
I take it the children kind of go for wheat or rice shot from guns.
Oh, indeed they do. We have the wheat one morning, the rice the next.
That's a fine idea.
It's easy on me, too, what with having such a large family.
You mean because Quaker puffed wheat and Quaker puffed rice are so easy to serve?
Yes, and with milk or cream and fruit, they make a pretty nourishing breakfast.
That's right. Wheat or rice shot from guns furnish added food values of restored natural grain amounts of vitamin B1, niacin, and dian.
Oh, land sakes, I must be going now.
Back to the shoe? I mean home?
My, yes. I've got to fix everyone's supper.
Supper? Gee, I don't envy you that job.
There's nothing to it. The children have been so good lately, I promised them a special treat tonight. Their choice of Quaker puffed rice or Quaker puffed wheat with their favorite fruit. Well, goodbye now.
Well, sir, that's a fine idea. Quaker puffed rice and Quaker puffed wheat hit the spot at supper time as well as breakfast time. These king-size kernels are shot from guns to make them bigger and better tasting. Yes, they're actually exploded up to 8 times normal size to make them crisp and tender. Don't be missing out. Make sure you get both delicious kinds, Quaker puffed wheat and Quaker puffed rice, tomorrow. Now to continue our story. The sergeant drove his team into the cover of the trees at the mouth of Christmas Creek. The dogs were unharnessed and immediately burrowed in the snow and went to sleep. Fir boughs were piled over the sled. Then the sergeant placed Mary's doll in his knapsack with a few supplies and his first aid kit, and he and King started out. They followed the trail carefully, on and on toward the head of the creek. It was a relief when he finally saw a campfire glowing through the trees.
Easy, boy. We're at the foot of the hill. It's just about where Jeff's old cabin is. We'll make sure of the exact spot, and we'll work our way around them. Come on.
Silently, the sergeant and King made their way toward the campfire until they could see Taranga's tall figure, his bitter, twisted face. There were at least 20 men with him.
Good enough. Now to get up to Jeff's cabin, gang.
They cut to the west for 200 yards before they started up the wooded slope. Then suddenly, King growled a warning. He and the sergeant dropped to the ground in the shadow of a low bush. They heard a branch crack to their left, then the sound of footsteps. 2 of the renegades carrying firewood, a third with a rifle, were walking toward them, closer and closer. They were less than a dozen feet away from the bush that concealed the sergeant and King when they passed it. The sergeant held his breath. Directly above him, a fir bough was heavily weighted with snow. For hours, the snow had been exerting a steady pressure, And now the bough gave way to it slightly, and the snow slid from the branch to the ground. The Indian with a rifle whirled and fired in the direction of the sound. The sergeant stifled a groan. The Indians talked together for a moment and then moved on toward their campfire. Paul Morton was only 11, but he was a husky youngster. He was dozing in a chair near the window where a lighted candle burned. The shot woke him.
Oh. Hey, it sounded like a rifle.
Paul,
What, Mary?
I heard a shot.
That was only a limb cracking in the cold. You know the way they do.
Well, it sounded like a shot.
It wasn't.
It's Indians. It's Taranga.
Go on. He's in jail.
What if he got out? Would he come back here?
How could he get out? You forget about Taranga.
Why did Pa have to go away?
He had to go and tell Santa Claus what you wanted for Christmas. A new dress and a dollar. Now what's the matter?
Santa Claus won't come here.
Of course he will.
Taranga won't let him.
Oh, where do you get such ideas? Santa Claus is a lot braver than Taranga. Well, I can handle him.
Oh, you can't.
I can, too. I can shoot just as good as Pa can. And if Taranga comes around here, I'll give it to him good. Why don't you go to sleep, Mary? Santa Claus won't come if you don't.
He won't come anyway.
Oh, don't. Listen.
What?
I think I hear somebody coming up the hill.
Well, it isn't Pa. The dogs would be barking.
I guess I was just imagining things.
Don't go away.
I'm not. I think maybe I'll shine up this rifle some.
You're not shining it. You're loading it.
I'm just seeing if it needs oiling, too.
Well, you're scared somebody's coming here.
No, I'm not.
You better be. Pa, somebody's outside.
Who's there?
What did he say?
It's Sergeant Preston. Just a second.
What's it, Sergeant?
Hello, Sergeant. Come on in.
Thank you, Paul.
Hello, King. You still remembers me. Gosh, it's good to see you, too.
Why? Anything happened here?
No, but Pa isn't back from Greenwood. Sort of lonely, just Mary and me.
Your father's staying in Greenwood tonight, Paul. I was going to take you and Mary with me to Dawson, but I...
Sergeant, what's the matter? You've been hurt. Here, sit down on this bench.
Thanks. I'd better hang a blanket over the window, Paul.
Oh. All right, Sergeant.
Without another word, the boy understood there was some danger lurking outside in the forest. He fixed a blanket over the window and lit the candle. Then he helped the sergeant out of his pocket.
There, Sergeant.
You've got a red coat, haven't you?
Yes, Mary, this is my uniform. I suppose you can help me with the bandage, Paul.
Sure.
I'll get this coat off, too. There's a first aid kit in my knapsack.
In here?
Yes.
What's this package on top?
Well, that's for Mary. It's her Christmas present.
For me?
You can't open it until tomorrow.
Oh, Tim. Can't I open it, Santa?
What?
Santa? This isn't Santa Claus. It's Sergeant Preston.
Oh, I know who he is. Can't I open it? Please.
Let her have it, Paul.
All right. Here you are.
Thank you, Santa.
Oh, for God's sake. Just because you've got a red coat.
And a red shirt, too, I'm afraid. Don't let Mary see it.
She can't.
Help me tear the weight.
Sure.
Paul helped the sergeant bandage his wound, and as they worked, they talked in whispers.
That right, Sergeant?
It's perfect. I'll just put my coat around my shoulders.
Here.
Thanks, Paul. Taranga and his men are camped at the bottom of the hill. I'm going to write a note and send King back to headquarters with it.
To Dawson? Will he know where to go?
All I have to do is tell him headquarters. He'll bring help. I'll stay here with you and Mary tonight until just before daybreak.
What are you going to do then?
Well, I'm going to let Taranga see me. I'm going to lead him back to the Dawson Trail. It's easier to capture him then.
That isn't the reason. You're going to let him chase you so he won't come up here. You'd better not. You'd better stay with us.
Maybe the inspector and the other men from the post will be here before morning. We'll see. Do you have a piece of paper and a pencil?
In the table drawer. I'll get them.
The sergeant wrote a note telling the inspector in Dawson exactly where Taranga were camped. Then he attached it to King's collar and led him to the door.
You understand, don't you, boy? Headquarters. Right. Go on, King. Headquarters.
The The great dog ran across the clearing, a flash of silver in the moonlight, and then he disappeared in the forest.
Go on, boy.
How long will it take him to get there?
You should make it in 2 hours.
If Taranga doesn't see him.
I've put my trust in King before, and he's never failed me.
He's a wonderful dog.
Oh, Santa, I love you.
Mary, for the last time.
Never mind, Paul. I love you too, Mary.
He's the most beautiful doll in the whole world.
You must thank your father for it.
Because he told you. I know. When's he coming home?
Tomorrow, perhaps, or perhaps I'll take you and Paul down to Greenwood. Now, you'd better go to sleep.
All right, Santa.
We ought to stand guard.
I'll do that. You go to sleep too, Paul.
Well, I guess I am sort of sleepy. Good night, Santa. Will you listen to that? I'm just as bad as she is.
Good night, Paul.
After the children were asleep, the sergeant put out the candle and took down the blanket from the window. He drew up a chair close to it and watched the trail leading up to the top of the hill and the forest all around. His plans were made. When morning came, it was likely that either Taranga or one of his men would find his tracks leading up to the cabin. If help didn't arrive before daybreak, he must be down at the bottom of the hill. He must let the renegades see him. He must lead them away from Paul and Mary. Once, toward morning, he heard a yell from the bottom of the hill. It woke Mary, and she started to cry. He moved to her side and took her hand.
What was it, Santa?
Nothing, Mary.
Oh, I'm not afraid when you're here.
That's good. Now, will you go back to sleep?
Oh, I can't. Tell me a story. Tell me all about Christmas.
The true story?
Uh-huh. That's really the best.
And so, as the moon set and the northern lights faded from the sky and the stars shone brightly through the darkness that came just before dawn, the sergeant told the little girl the story of the first Christmas. She nodded happily at every well-remembered part.
And now the wise men.
Well, that night a bright star shone in the sky, and there were 3 wise men who saw it.
Mm-hmm. Like the star I can see.
Where?
Out the window.
Yes, like that, but much brighter. And the wise men decided to follow it, and it led them to the stable in Bethlehem.
Where the baby was.
Yes, Mary. And they brought gifts with them, and they laid them at the feet of the child.
And that's why we give presents at Christmas time.
That's the reason, but the presents aren't the most important thing. It's the way we feel at Christmas that matters. The warmth and kindness in our hearts. What we call the Christmas spirit.
Why doesn't Taranga have it?
Well, he may someday. And someday, maybe the Christmas spirit will stay with all of us through all the year. That's something to hope for.
Oh, it's just beginning.
What is?
Christmas morning. My star's going away.
You're right, Mary. It's getting late. I'm going to put on my parka now. Go out for a little walk.
Why?
Well, I want to see if there's any sign of King.
Will he be gone long?
That depends, Mary. You try to sleep a little more now.
No, Sergeant, don't go.
I must, Paul.
Please don't. If you let them see you, you won't be able to get away from them. Stay here.
Paul?
What?
I'm leaving you to stand guard over Mary. You'll do a good job, won't you?
But we don't want you to. It's too late anyway. Listen.
They're still down at the bottom of the hill.
Maybe the Maoris have come. Maybe you don't have to leave us, Sergeant.
There's only one short way of telling that.
How?
King wouldn't stop down there. He'd come back here. If he's made it, if he's brought help, we should be...
He did. There he is.
Good boy, King.
Mary, King's come back.
King! There's a note attached to his collar.
Not your note.
No, it's from the inspector. King evidently wants to get back to you. I'm sending him on. We're down at the bottom of the hill, and we have Taranga surrounded. He can't possibly get away. It's going to be a Merry Christmas after all. It's good news, Paul. Yes, King, that's good work, boy.
And even as the sergeant hugged King and the great dog licked his face, joyful over their reunion, the firing ceased at the bottom of the slope. A few minutes later, Inspector Conrad himself drove up the trail and announced that Taranga and his men had been surprised and rounded up without a casualty on either side. Taranga would soon be on his way back to Dawson, and Christmas would be celebrated on Christmas Creek as it should be. But the sergeant felt that Mary and Paul should be with their father on Christmas Day, and he bundled them both on his sled and started out for Greenwood.
On King! Run, you huskies!
With King setting the pace, the sled seemed to fly over the glistening snow. The forest was left behind. The white hills beyond sparkled under the bright sun. The sky was a matchless blue.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. God's been saving it just for Christmas.
And then, very distant, but crystal clear, they heard the sound of the bells in the little church at Greenwood. And King pricked his ears as he ran in a happy salute to the holiday sound. Closer and closer it came, until he rounded a bend in the shining river, and the little party could see the snow-covered cabins nestling among the evergreens, and the white church, too, and the people from miles around streaming into the service. And in front of the church itself, Harry Worth and Sonny and Mrs. Trent and the doctor and Paul and Mary's father.
There's Paul.
And the golden chimes rang out in welcome and celebration.
King! Oh, you huskies! All over. Taranga's been captured.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mary.
Oh, I want to kiss you, Pop.
Come here. Oh, my, that's a beautiful big hug.
Oh, thank you for sending Santa to me.
She just won't listen to reason. She thinks Sergeant Preston is Santa Claus because he has a red coat.
Oh, he is.
Is he really?
Oh, yes, he is, Sonny.
His team is dogs.
Well, naturally. In the Yukon. And he's kind and he's good, and he wants us all to be kind and good. Isn't that Santa Claus?
Uh-huh. Will you go to church with us, Sergeant Santa Claus?
I certainly will, Sonny.
Take my hand.
Mine, too.
All
Come
right.
on. A Merry, Merry Christmas.
A Merry, Merry Christmas to everyone.
He's saying it, too.
Mary's right, you know. The sergeant is our Santa Claus.
Be careful. Accidents can happen. Yes, fellows and girls, accidents do happen. Every few seconds there's an accident and someone's hurt. What's more, in wintertime, there's more chance than ever of accidents due to snowy and icy roads. So be careful. Most accidents are due to just plain carelessness. Use your old bean when you're playing out of doors. Be careful when you cross the streets. Snowy or icy streets make cars harder to control, harder to stop. Be careful with your sleds. Never coast or ride them on streets open to traffic. And never, never hitch a ride on the back of a truck or car. Don't take chances. Not even a little chance. Now, more than ever, be extra careful. These radio dramas, a feature of the Challenge of the Yukon Incorporated, are created and produced by George W. Trendle, directed by Fred Flowerday, and edited by Fran Stryker. The part of Sergeant Preston is played by Paul Sutton. They are brought to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the breakfast cereals shot from guns. Be sure to hear the Challenge of the Yukon Monday. Till then, this is J. Michael wishing you goodbye, good luck, and good health from Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice. So long. For a delicious hot breakfast, eat Quaker Oats. The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. Yes, the giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. Delicious, nutritious, makes you feel ambitious. The giant of the cereals is Quaker Oats. Say, boys and girls, you want to be a star someday in sports and activities? Then start on good Quaker Oats breakfast tomorrow. Because nourishing oatmeal gives you more growth and endurance than any other whole grain cereal. Still less than 1 penny a serving. Quaker and Mother's Oats are the same. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.
Leroy?
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, you get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Now let's see what's doing at the Great Gildersleeve's house this morning.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
Well, the great man seems as jolly as Santa himself as he and his niece and nephew move the furniture around the parlor to make room for the Christmas tree.
Leroy, give me a hand with this couch. I'll lift and you shove.
Okay, I'll hold down the rug, Unky.
All right, Marjorie. Leroy, on the count of 3, push. 1, 2... Leroy, I thought you were going to push.
You never got to 3.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's far enough anyway, Unky. It's more room than we had last year.
Well, we need more room. It's Baby's first Christmas, so we're going to have a bigger tree than we've ever had.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
You bet. Her real parents may not be around to provide these things, but by George, it's going to be a Christmas she'll remember.
At 9 months? I don't remember anything till I was 6 years old.
I could answer that, Leroy, but I feel too good this morning. Well, better get going after that tree.
Hey, can I go along?
Sure, Leroy. We'll need a lot of hands to get this tree home.
Oh, boy. Well, if you get a larger tree, we'll need an extra string of lights.
Lights? Oh, yes. I'll pick them up at Peavy's when I go downtown.
Unky, can I invite Francie and the gang over when we light the tree? We'll have a party. Yeah, and can I ask Piggy and Craig?
No, children, this Christmas Eve is going to be different. It's going to be just for the little family and Miss Fairchild.
Miss Fairchild?
Well, of course, Leroy. We're engaged, you know. She's almost a member of the family.
I think a little family party is a good idea. And, Unky, when you get the tree, don't forget to buy some mistletoe.
Mistletoe? Well, if you think it'll make a nice decoration around the house, I'll get some. Of course, it doesn't make any difference to me. Leroy? Get your overshoes on and let's get going after that tree.
Okay.
See you later, Marjorie. Better say goodbye to the baby before I go.
Bertie's giving her bath upstairs.
Yes, I know. Deck the halls with boughs of mistletoe, fa la 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 la, la 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 la.
Hold still now, baby. Let Bertie wash your back.
Well, you seem to have your hands full, Bertie.
I sure have, Mr. Gilsleeve.
Hello, baby. Kitty-coo. Are you enjoying your bath this morning? You're getting to be quite a splasher, aren't you? Oh! That's right in my eye. I better get out of here before I get the bath. Bye-bye, baby. I'm on my way to get your first Christmas tree.
I saw some fine trees down at the corner market, Mr. Gilsleeve.
Oh, well, thanks, Bertie, but Judge Hooker asked me to buy our Christmas tree from a friend of his. Young man he's helping to get started here in town.
Well, that's nice of the judge. How many people are you going to have over this Christmas Eve, Mr. Gilsleeve? I'd like to know how many to fix for.
This year, Bertie, there'll be just the family and Miss Fairchild.
You mean none of your downtown friends are dropping in?
I'll ask them over sometime during the holidays, but I'm not inviting any extra people for Christmas Eve.
I didn't think they needed much of an invitation.
Now, Christmas Eve is going to be different this year, Bertie. Just for the little family. Even Santa Claus won't get in, unless he has a pass.
Look at all the trees.
Yeah, the lot's full of them.
What color are we going to get this year? White, blue, purple, or pink?
We're going to get green, Leroy. It's Baby's first Christmas, and we don't want to scare her. Now, where's the judge's friend?
Maybe that's him waiting on that lady.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Hey, how about this tree, Uncle? It's a whopper. How about it?
Our tree doesn't have to be that tall, Leroy.
They charge by the foot, you know.
But, Unc.
All right, let's see the price tag. $7. They must be charging per needle.
Too high, huh?
Yeah, well, after Christmas, we want to feel that we can afford to throw it away, Leroy. Come on, my boy, let's get out of the tall timber.
Gosh, I want a big tree.
Well, leave it to me, Leroy. Now then, here's one that looks about right for our little parlor. Not as tall, but it's nice and chubby. Well filled out in the top. How about it, Leroy?
Yeah, not bad, Unc.
Yeah, this is the one for us. And the price is only... Still, Leroy, when you stand back and look at it, maybe it isn't quite the tree for us.
What did the tag say?
$10. It's a prettier tree, though.
Well, did you find one you like?
Oh, you Bob Clark?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, City Water Commissioner.
Yes, I know.
You do?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Pleasure to meet you. This is my nephew, Leroy.
Hello, Leroy.
Hi.
Judge Hooker asked us to come down and have a look at your trees.
Well, that's a fine tree you're looking at. It's a silver tip.
For $10, it must be silver plated.
Well, like everything else, tree prices are a little high, I guess.
Let's take it, Unc. What do you say, huh?
Well...
I think it's a pick of the lot, Mr. Gildersleeve. The judge said you should have a tree like this.
Oh, the judge did he?
I think the judge is right, Unc.
Oh, can't the judge let me pick out my own Christmas tree? What an old busybody.
Well, you see...
I'll take it. Here's your $10.
Oh, no. No, that's been taken care of, Mr. Gildersleeve.
It has?
Judge Hooker asked for the bill. He said to say Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Well, fine old fellow, the judge.
I certainly think so. It isn't everyone who'll do as much for a fellow as the judge has done for me.
Huh?
He's even found me a good job in the market starting the first of the year.
Yeah, that's the judge, all right. None better.
I'll carry the tree over to the car for you, Mr. Gildersleeve, and help you tie it on.
Thank you, Bob. He's a nice fellow, isn't he, Leroy?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice thing the judge did, too. But he shouldn't have bought our tree. He's always so helpful around the holidays when he gets lonesome. Leroy, I told you and Marjorie we weren't going to invite anybody over Christmas Eve, but what do you say we make one exception and invite the judge?
Sure. He always brings swell presents.
Yeah. Leroy, that's not the spirit. Wonder what he'll bring me. Hurry up, Floyd. I could shave myself faster than this.
What's a rush, Commish? Rome wasn't burned in a day.
I have things to do, Floyd. I want to get some lights for my Christmas tree before they're all gone.
Okay, well, let me catch that stray whisker on your chin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got a pretty nice tree, Commish?
You bet. I can't wait to see the baby's eyes light up when she sees it. It's her first Christmas, you know.
Sort of like the kid, don't you, Commish?
Well, she'll do.
How long's it been since you found her in the back of your car?
It's been about 3 months now, I guess. She's about 9 months old, Floyd.
That's a great age. Funny you never heard anything from the parents.
It'll be all right with me if we don't. You're just like a member of our little family now.
Yeah, kids kind of get you all right. Okay, Commish, you're finished. That's all we can do for that face without plastic surgery.
Yes.
You have an open house this year, Commish?
No, Floyd. I decided this Christmas Eve would be just for the family. You understand?
Oh, sure, yeah. Kind of hoped we'd get together and sing carols, but if you ain't having any outsiders in, I understand.
Well, I may as well tell you, Floyd. The judge is coming over.
Oh? Judge, huh?
Well, you see, Floyd, I just had to invite him. He gave us the tree.
Uh-huh. Hey, Mr. Gildersleeve, you're through.
But, Floyd, the judge paid $10 for that tree. I couldn't ignore that.
Of course, I'm just a hard-working barber.
What?
We always got together in the past, but if you're throwing a party and just letting in the upper crust, $10 cover charge, I guess that lets me out.
Floyd, it isn't that at all.
It's okay.
Floyd, don't look so sad.
Well...
You know how it is with a judge. He never has any place to go on Christmas Eve.
Well, the missus has a choir rehearsal at the church that night, and I don't have any place to go either. But that's okay. You don't find little Floydie Munson crashing in where he ain't wanted.
Oh, my goodness. Floyd, how would you like to drop by my house Christmas Eve?
Well, if you really want me.
Sure.
Okay, Commish, what time?
Gildersleeve, the trouble with you is you can't say no. While I'm at it, I guess I should invite Peavy and Chief Gates. No. Peavy's mother-in-law's in town, and if he brought her, No, sir. Peavy's out. I just won't say anything to Peavy and the Chief. Nothing at all. I'll invite him over New Year's to listen to the Rose Bowl game. Well, hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Peavy, I need a string of Christmas tree lights.
Oh, you must be going to have a Christmas tree.
Yes, Peavy. Leroy and I got to find one this morning. Have you bought yours yet?
Well, we're not having a tree this year. We're having Mrs. Peavy's mother instead.
What?
We always have to forego a tree when Mother Higgins comes for the holidays. They make her sneeze.
That's too bad, Peavy. Now, let's see your lights.
Very well. They're over at this counter, Mr. Gildersleeve. Yes, I always like to be around a tree for a little while come Christmas Eve. You're going to have one, you say?
Well, yes, Peavy. Say, you have quite a collection of lights. Which type do you recommend?
Well...
How about these round ones?
They're very nice if you like the round ones.
Mm-hmm. How about these pointed ones?
They're nice. They have their points.
Brother. Oh, Peavy, here's something new. Bubble candles. Are they any good?
They bubble.
Peavy, you're quite a salesman. I can't resist you. I'll take a string of the ones that bubble. The baby will like those. But I'd like to test them first.
Very well. You hold up the string and I'll plug you in. There.
Yeah, look, Peavy, they bubble.
That's what I say.
Well, what's going on here?
Hello, Judge.
Hello, Judge.
Gentlemen. My, that's a pretty sight, Gildy. With all those lights draped around you, you look just like a big fat Christmas tree.
Horace, I don't know how you can be such an old goat and such a nice guy at the same time. That was wonderful of you to buy the tree for our little family.
Happy to do it, Gildy. And by the way, I saw Leroy and he extended me your kind invitation to come...
Judge, we'll discuss that later.
What's the matter, Gildy? Is it such a big secret that you've invited me over for Christmas Eve? Isn't everybody coming?
Would you gentlemen like me to step in your back room?
Yeah. Peavy, we're having just a quiet family Christmas Eve. But the judge presented us with a tree, and we appreciate it, so we invited him over. Well, how much are the lights?
How much? It's Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'd like to present you with these lights compliments of Peavy's Pharmacy.
Oh, Fred. Peavy, how would you like to drop in for a little while Christmas Eve?
Are you sure I won't be one too many?
Oh, no. In fact, I might as well invite Chief Gates, too.
By the way, Gildy, I wonder if I could bring someone.
Judge, this is just a family party for the baby and the kids. And Adeline, of course. And you and Floyd and Peavy and the Chief. Oh, well, bring them along. Who is it?
If I may, I'd like to bring the young man you got the tree from.
You mean Bob, whatchamacallit?
Bob Clark. Splendid young man. Veteran. Recently lost his wife. Has no friends in the community as yet, and it'd be a nice gesture, Gildy, if you admitted him to your family circle on Christmas Eve.
Well, all right, Judge. I sort of like Bob. Bring him along. What the heck? It's Christmas.
That's very nice of you, Gildy.
The more the merrier, they say.
Yes. Peavy, I suppose you want to bring your mother-in-law, too.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
You know, it'll be interesting to know how many of the people who use Parquet margarine are listening to us tonight.
Millions of them, I guess. Just millions of them.
There certainly are millions of Parquet users, Bertie. I was just wondering how many of them are listening now.
I wouldn't worry about that, Mr. Wall. You can't listen to a flavor. You got to taste it. The way I look at it, soon as you take some Parquet, spread it on a hot muffin or a slice of bread and taste it. From then on, that's the spread you're going to want on everything. Rolls, pancakes, waffles, it's everything.
It's delicious, all right, but that's natural. After all, parquet is prepared like a rare luxury food from the selected products of American farms. And it's as nutritious as it is good to taste. The best of ingredients plus 15,000 units of essential vitamin A go into every pound of parquet that you buy. Now, friends, in case you haven't tasted parquet, why not decide to try it tomorrow? I'm sure you're going to like parquet's light, delicate flavor.
You sure will, because it tastes even better than it listens. Tastes like it should cost twice as much.
So ask for Parkay, Parquet, the margarine made by Kraft that tastes like it should cost twice as much. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. He'd planned to confine this Christmas Eve just to the family circle. But, as usual, he has widened the circle to include all his friends. It's after dinner now, and the great Gildersleeve sits before the tree with baby Romery on his lap, enjoying a quiet hour before the guests arrive.
By George, there's no time like Christmas. It certainly is nice to have you with us, baby. You're cute. I don't know how we'd ever get along without you. See all those presents there under the tree? A lot of them are for you. There's some for Leroy, some for Marjorie and Bertie. But do you know what my Christmas present is this year? Yeah, that's right, you. Yeah. Yes, sir, baby, you're the biggest thing that ever happened to me.
What's going on in here? A private party?
Oh, no, Marjorie. We're waiting for you and Leroy. Where is he?
Hi, Unc. What's up?
It's time for our little family get-together, Leroy, before the guests arrive.
Unky, who's this Bob Clark the judge is bringing over?
The young fellow the judge is helping to get started. He's a little old for you, Marjorie. Well, hand me the book, my dear. It's time to read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to you children.
You're going to read that again, Unc?
Of course. Naturally, Leroy. I do it every year, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It's a tradition in this household, and we're going to observe it. Anyone who doesn't want to hear it can just leave.
Okay, I'll go upstairs.
You will not. You'll stay right here and listen, and you'll enjoy it. You understand?
Sure. Here's the book.
Thank you. You see, baby? There's a picture of Santa Claus. Yeah. You sort of like chubby fellows, don't you? Now then, are we all settled?
I am.
Leroy?
Sure. If you get stuck, let me know.
Yeah. All right, my boy. Now, 'twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care.
Hey, I wonder if Bertie would lend me a pair.
Leroy, please. Well, then, where were we? Oh, yes. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down off a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Well, thank you, my dear. George, that's a great poem.
I love it. Yeah, not bad, Unc.
Look, the little baby's asleep. Better take her up to bed, Marjorie. We'll bring her down when we light the tree, huh?
All right, Unky. Come to Marjorie, baby.
Uh-oh, here they come.
Well, don't open the door till I get her upstairs.
All right, Leroy, go put your coat on. The guests are coming.
Okay, Unky.
Coming.
Well, is this where St. Nicholas lives?
Come on in, Judge. Nice to see you. Look at all the packages. And Bob. Well, I didn't see you back there. Merry Christmas, my boy.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve. It's awfully nice of you to invite me. You're sure I won't be one too many?
No, the more the merrier. Besides, you can help me, Bob.
I can?
You bet. We need a tall young fellow to put the star at the top of the tree.
Well, fine.
Judge, you know where to hang your earmuffs.
Yeah.
Take Bob's coat. And, Bob, you come with me.
Sure thing, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, say, where do you want me to put this little present I brought for the baby?
A present for the baby? Oh, you shouldn't have done it. Business is getting good. Excuse me, Bob. By George, this is the way to spend Christmas Eve.
Hey, Commish, let's light the tree.
Yes, Commissioner, I have to get down and relieve the desk sergeant so he can go home and play Santa Claus.
Well, I'm sorry, Chief, but Adeline isn't here yet.
Hey, that's right.
By the way, Gildy, before everyone arrives, I'd like to have a word with you about Bob.
About Bob?
Yes, Gildy. The reason I'm so interested in this young man...
Tell me later, Judge. That must be Adeline.
Hey, gang, it's Miss Fairchild. Let's everybody get under some mistletoe and see which one she smacks first.
Yeah. Careful, Floyd, or you'll get the smack from me. Adeline, come in.
I'm sorry I'm late, Throckmorton, but I wanted to get all prettied up for the party.
Yeah, don't be sorry about a thing. It's Christmas Eve. All together now.
To you.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Peavy. Gracious, what a reception.
Why, certainly. Very pretty young lady. Come on, Adeline. I want you to see the tree.
Care to stand over here by me, Miss Fairchild?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Munson, but I see that mistletoe behind your ear.
She's on to you, Floyd.
I think I'll just sit over here by Mr. Peavy, where I'll be safe.
I wouldn't say that.
Now, Peavy.
Oh, Throckmorton, I think the tree is beautiful.
Yeah, silver tip. It's pretty all right. We have the old judge to thank for that.
Hey, come on, everybody. Let's have another song.
Okay, one chorus for Adeline. Come on, fellas.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
'Tis the season to be jolly,
fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la.
Troll the ancient Yuletide carol,
fa la 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 la.
Yeah, great. We'll have to learn that sometime. Okay, let's light the baby's tree now, huh?
Well, shall I get her for you, Uncle Morris?
No, Marjorie, I'd like to bring her down myself.
Well, I think Mr. Clark's up there with her now.
Bob? He is?
Uh-huh. He asked to see her, and she was awake anyway, so I thought it'd be all right.
Oh, sure. Well, gather around the tree, everybody. I'll be right back.
There's another batch of popcorn balls. Oh, boy, come and get it.
Yeah, Leroy, save one for me. Yes, sir, there's no time like Christmas. Great little party.
Gildy.
Huh? What is it now, Judge?
I want to talk to you about Bob.
Judge, you've already talked to me. He's a fine young fellow. And after the first of the year, I promised to trade at his market. Now, are you satisfied?
Gildy.
You better get back to the party before the popcorn's all gone. Just listen to the fun they're having down there. Gildersleeve, you're a mighty lucky man. Good friends and a fine little family. Marjorie, little Leroy, and our little baby. Yes, sir, this is the best Christmas Eve I've ever had. Well, Bob must have brought her a music box. I'll peek in and see how they're getting along.
Well, baby doll, I'm glad you like the music box.
Well, look at him in there.
I hope I can give you a lot of presents as you grow older. That is, if Mr. Gildersleeve will give you back to me.
Give her back?
And I think he will. He's a swell fellow, baby doll. If I hadn't been sure of that, I never would have left you in his car. It sounds like a terrible thing to do, doesn't it? But after we lost your mother, I didn't know what to do. All I could think of was to get you in a good home where you'd be loved and cared for. While I went away and tried to get straightened out. Well, when you get a little older, I'll try to explain it to you.
So that's what the judge was trying to tell me.
hope Mr. Gildersleeve will see it our way. It'll be pretty much up to him whether or not you come back to your daddy. But I can make a home for you now. And your grandmother's coming. You'll like her.
My little baby. He can't take her away from me. Why did he have to come back here?
Are you ready, Yucky? We're waiting.
Gildy, where are you going?
I'm going for a walk.
Gildy, wait for me. After the most thorough investigation of Bob and the circumstances surrounding the case, bringing you together seemed the only thing to do, Gildy. The hard part, of course, was trying to tell you. I'm sorry, Gildy.
You've been very considerate, Horace. Of all of us.
Now it's up to you to decide what you want to do about it.
I know, Horace. I know.
You could put up a fight for her.
Let's go back in the house, Judge, before we both catch pneumonia. I know what I'm going to do.
Hey, where you been?
I needed some air, Leroy.
Well, hurry, Unky. Bertie's going to sing her lullaby.
Oh, well, fine.
Mr. Gildersleeve?
Huh? Oh. What is it, Bob?
Wouldn't you like to hold the baby?
Yes, Bob, I think I would. Thank you. Little baby.
Lay thou little tiny child by thy lolly thou little tiny child by thy lolly.
Bertie, that was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yes, very wonderful, Bertie.
Well, let's light the tree, huh?
Yeah, what are we waiting for?
Come on, Gildy, let's light it.
One moment, everyone.
Long time.
Please. Before we light the tree, there's something I'd like to say. All of us wanted to make sure our little baby had a wonderful first Christmas. Well, it's turned out to be more wonderful than any of us ever anticipated. The baby's father has joined us on this Christmas Eve. He's a fine young man, and I know he'll provide a good home for the baby. Here you are, Bob. Your little daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, for everything. Thank you very much.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Now, Bertie, it isn't as though we won't be seen. She'll be right here in town. Well, what's everybody so quiet about? This is a very happy Christmas for all of us. Father and his daughter have just been reunited. Let's light the tree and sing our carol.
Anything you say, Commissioner.
Gildy, this is a big thing you've done tonight.
Oh, Unky, I'm so proud of you.
Now, my dear.
Gosh, I'm going to miss the little kid.
Leroy, stay close to me.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas, and God bless you.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
we take you now to Duffy's Tavern, starring Archie himself, Ed Gardner. The program you're about to hear is brought to you with a wish from Bristol Myers, that your Christmas may be merry and that the new year for all of us be a happy and a peaceful one.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern. Where do you eat meat to eat? Archie the Ranger speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Huh? Look, please don't give me that Merry Christmas stuff. I sound like I got up on the wrong side of the floor this morning? Look, Duffy, I had one eggnog. Just happened that I hit some bad nutmeg. Well, if you want to know, I'm a little sore about your gratuity for Christmas. That lousy Christmas card. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. P.S. After you read this, get back to work. Fine sentiment this time of the year. Well, after 9 years, I thought maybe I might get some little present. Some little luxury, some little thing I wouldn't think of getting for myself. Like money. Huh? Look, Duffy, someday you're going to leave this vale of tears. You're going to leave it with your pockets bulging with bills, but I'm warning you. Where you're going, you're going to find that paper money ain't going to last long. I leave you with that thought for today. Christmas. 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. I work my grindstone to the nose. What do I get? Nothing but gratitude. And very little of that.
Merry Christmas, Miss Archie.
What's so merry about it, Eddie? Starvation wages, no dough to buy nothing.
Oh, you got a little dough.
Yeah, but how far will it take me with the present prices of economics? The landlady sent me a notice. From the first of the year on, your apartment will be $9 a month. $9 for 4 lousy rooms.
Does that include bath?
Who knows? Never get to see the place the way I have to work around here, but does Duffy care?
Well, don't let it get you, Miss Archie. See, this is the time of the year to forget your trouble.
Yeah.
Christmas is the time when you should be thinking about helping other people out.
Helping other people out, huh? When Gorilla Hogan got drunk and nasty here last night and started picking on me, did you help me out?
I couldn't. See, I was back in the kitchen cooking.
What takes a half an hour to cook?
With Gorilla Hogan drunk and nasty, a couple of 3-minute eggs.
That's what I'm talking about. When I'm in a fight and I need help, you disappear.
Yeah, but you always bragging about what a wonderful fighter you are.
You certainly picked the funniest times to start believing me. Now, give me that Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, boys.
Merry Christmas, Miss Duff.
Archie, I said Merry Christmas.
Are you kidding? What have I got to be merry about working for that cheapskate old man of yours?
Archie, you just don't know Papa. He really isn't cheap.
No, that's right. Once, in an outburst of generosity, he gave away his toenail clippings. What about the time he took your old lady on their honeymoon? Where did they go?
Niagara Falls.
That's what he told everybody, Niagara Falls. But what he really did, they stayed home and your old man let the water run in the bathtub while he showed your mother a box of shredded wheat. Tell me how cheap the guy is. Just a minute. Hello? Oh, just a second. It's your girlfriend, Vera Fogarty.
Oh, thanks. Hello, Vera. How did you do with Santa Claus? Okay, but no presents, huh? You just can't have everything, Vera. What's on your mind? A dance? Where? At the Y? M or W? The YW, huh? Well, okay, Vera, I'll go. But this time you've got to lead. All right. Okay, I'll meet you at Kimmelbacher's. So long, everybody. I got a heavy date. What are you going to do tonight, Archie?
Me? I think I'll just spend a quiet evening standing around disappointing pickpockets.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Doc. Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, hello, Finnegan.
Ain't you gonna wish me a Merry Christmas?
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Did you hang up your stocking?
Oh, no. I hung up my stocking last year, and it was a bum idea.
A bum idea?
Yeah, the blood kept rushing to me head.
Finnegan, what I meant was, did you get any presents for Christmas?
No, a few things, George. My mother gave me some building blocks, monogrammed, of course. And my sister gave me a bottle of bubble bath.
Bubble bath?
Yeah, and that stuff a fake.
What do you mean a fake?
I sat in the tub and took 4 drinks of it, and I couldn't even blow a single bubble. Well, I just stopped in to say hello. I gotta run along,
You gotta run along? Where you going?
I'm going over to sing Christmas carols.
Oh, yeah? Where?
At Watermcgurk. You going over, Art?
No, I'm not.
How come?
Didn't invite me.
Well, I'll be seeing you, Art.
Hey, you mean you ain't gonna spend Christmas with me like you usually do?
Well, Art, I thought you was going to McGurk too, so I accepted. Hey, you ain't sure, are you?
No. Why should I be sore? Go ahead. Have a good time.
Well, Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Clifton. Fine Christmas. No bonus. Your friends walk out on you. The next guy that says Merry Christmas to me, I'm going to punch him right in the nose. What's the use? Eddie.
Yeah?
Eddie, turn on the radio, will you? Maybe it'll snap me out of this mood.
Okay.
Eddie, that Christmas music. Take it off, will you? Get me something with some pep in it.
Okay, I'll try another station.
Eddie, please, I asked you, didn't I?
Well, Miss Archie, I don't think there's anything on the radio but Christmas music.
Well, keep pushing them buttons. There must be something else on the air. Eddie, what are you trying to do? Drive me nuts?
But look bad, I'm running out of buttons.
Okay, forget about it. Well, I think we better lock up the place. It's getting late.
Okay. I'll go clean up the kitchen.
All right, do that. This Christmas music. I ain't got enough trouble at this time of the year. They got to put on music that makes them even sadder.
Hello there, Archie.
Huh? Hey, how did you get in here?
Walked in.
That's funny, huh? So they just locked the door. It was closing up.
Oh, and maybe I'd better leave.
Listen, you said Archie. How did you know my name?
Oh, I've heard about you.
Oh, well, I'm pretty well known around here. Will you have a little drink, Bud?
No, I don't think so.
Go ahead, it's on the house.
On the house?
Sure, it's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, huh?
Well, anyway, it's a day in December. What'll you have?
Well, maybe I'll take a glass of water.
Water here? You kidding? Here, mister, we got some pretty good wine here. At least have a glass of wine, huh? Look, I never seen you around here before. How did you happen to come in here to the tavern?
Oh, I was just walking around, saw the lights, thought I'd drop in. You don't think much of Christmas, do you, Archie?
Oh, you got me wrong. I love it. I wouldn't be without it. Good old Christmas. The time of the year when after you work for a guy for 9 years and knock your brains out, he says to you, Merry Christmas, Archie. The time when even your closest friend walks out on you.
Well, maybe there's another side to Christmas.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, like the look on a kid's face when he sees what Santa Claus has left in his stocking.
Uh-huh.
Or like the feeling in a man's heart when his family's around him on Christmas Eve. You see, Christmas isn't a thing you can reach out and touch, Archie. It's a thing inside us.
What's that? I can see you've been running around with a different class of people. Around this neighborhood, every guy is out for himself.
Oh, I don't know. I think this neighborhood and the people are pretty much the same as most others.
Hell, I know this, Ray.
Well, I could be wrong. Why don't you and I take a little walk?
You mean you want to see for yourself?
Mm-hmm. Maybe a little fresh air will do you good, Archie.
Fresh air? Are you inferring this joint is an incinerator?
Well, no.
Well, it is. Come on, let's go. Hey, Eddie, keep an eye on the joint, will you? Listen to that, will you? Not only don't you only get it over the radio, you can't even walk along a public street with that belting it at you.
I kind of like it.
You like it? Well, everybody to his own place. Did you ever listen to the words of that tune?
Did you?
I should have had to listen to them all day. All is calm, all is bright. How do you like that? The world is a mess. Everybody has his hand in the other guy's pocket, but don't make no difference to the guy that wrote that song. To him, all is bright.
Well, maybe the guy that wrote that song was thinking about something in men's hearts. Something that shines a little brighter on a day like this. Didn't you ever sing Christmas carols, Archie?
Oh, yeah. Christmas carols, sure. When I was a punk kid and I didn't know no better. But you have to grow up someday.
Now, that's the trouble with a lot of us. Maybe we're not growing up. Maybe we're just losing track of things that matter.
Like what?
Oh, things like faith, tolerance, human kindness.
That's nice. And where does one find them things?
You don't find them, Archie. You give them. And it's a funny thing. The more you give, the more you have. Say, why don't we drop in over there?
Huh?
Across the street.
Across the street? That's a church.
Yeah, I know. Why don't we drop in for a second?
Into a church?
Why not?
But I wouldn't know how to act.
You, don't go to church, huh?
Well, no, I'm not rapping it, you know. It's just that there's two types of guys when it comes to going to church. There's them that does and them that don't. I happen to be the type that don't.
Well, now, why don't you just drop in with me for a second?
Well, I guess if I go with somebody else, it won't count against me. Funny thing, now, you know, to take a look at you, I wouldn't figure that you was the religious type.
No?
No, but that's what I say. You never can tell about people. Okay, let us go in.
Nice in here, isn't it?
Yeah, but kind of quiet.
Yeah. I guess this is one of the few places left where you can find peace and quiet.
That's what I can't understand. People just come in here and they sit. And if they sit, they don't do nothing.
Oh, yes, they do. They pray, meditate. Some of them even come in here to keep warm.
Can they do that just as well at home?
Maybe some of them don't have a home.
You see? That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a pretty tough world.
It'd be tougher if they didn't have a place like this to come to. Didn't you ever pray, Archie?
Well, sure, when I was a kid. What was that prayer again they learned us? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, well, you know the thing I mean. But, look, mister, please, leave us get out of here and begin to get the heebie-jeebies.
All right.
Look, just a second, bud.
What are you doing?
Well, the sign says help the poor, don't it?
I thought you believed in everybody helping themselves.
Oh, I do, but tonight maybe I'm a little superstitious.
Or maybe it's just because it's Christmas.
Look, mister, please, don't start with that peace on it stuff, will you? I told you I'd take you around, show you the neighborhood and what it's really like now. Please, let's keep it that way.
Your Christmas edition here, paper.
Just a minute, I want to pick up a paper. Yeah, that crippled kid there. Nice kid, Jimmy Turner. Crippled, huh? Yeah, he ain't walked in years, but he's always got a smile for everybody, and I like to help him out once in a while.
Paper, read all about it. Get your paper.
Hiya, Jimmy.
Hello, Archie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, kid.
Well, Jimmy, it's a little tough not being able to walk, isn't it?
I ain't kicking. I can yell. That's all I need for this racket.
What'd you get for Christmas, Jimmy?
Nothing much. But it's okay. I got my Christmas present last summer.
Last summer?
Yeah. One of my customers took me up to the Yankee Stadium to see the Yanks play.
You like the Yanks, Jimmy?
Like them. You ever see that DiMaggio play ball?
Oh, give me a paper, son.
Okay, mister. Here you are. Latest edition.
Hi, kid. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mister.
You were talking about Joe DiMaggio, Jimmy.
Oh, boy, what a ball player. That DiMaggio's the greatest outfielder in the world. The way that guy can pull him.
Jimmy, do you know who that was who bought the paper just now?
Who?
That was Joe DiMaggio.
You're kidding.
No, look at him. He just stopped there by that streetlight.
Joe DiMaggio? Joe bought a paper for me and I didn't even recognize him?
Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can get him to come back. Hey, DiMaggio. Hey, DiMaggio. Hey, you. You calling me? Yes. You know, you've got quite an admirer in that crippled newsboy over there.
Me?
Yeah. Now look. You're Joe DiMaggio. And if that kid could shake hands with you, it'd be the best Christmas present he ever got. Would you do it?
Of course I will. Be glad to. Come on, let's go over to him.
No, just a minute. Let him walk over to you.
Oh, but mister, I told you the kid can't walk.
Well, let's find out, Archie. Oh, Jimmy. Joe DiMaggio wants to shake hands with you.
Yeah, come on, Jimmy. Come on over and shake hands.
But, gee, Joe, don't you see? I can't.
Come on, Jimmy.
Joe, I'm walking. Mag. You see what I'm doing to Mag? I'm walking.
I can't understand it. It's positively incredible.
What's the matter?
That kid back there, I seen him sitting in that corner like that for the past 6 years, and tonight the kid is walking.
Maybe he could have walked all the time.
No, he couldn't. You did it. You did it by telling him that was Joe DiMaggio.
It was.
Now, look, you can fool a kid, but don't try to fool me. It couldn't have been DiMaggio.
No?
Certainly not. I just read in the paper this morning DiMaggio was spending Christmas with his family in San Francisco. Hey, look, this thing is getting a little weird.
Nice town, San Francisco.
Huh? Oh. I ain't never been that far west. San Francisco your hometown?
No.
Where you from?
I'm from the east.
The east? What town?
A small town called Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, huh? Hey, you know anybody in Allentown?
I might.
A guy by the name of Lou Grant?
Lou Grant? Does he run a bar and grill on Front Street?
Yeah, that's the guy. Well, you should get around, don't you? What are you, one of them traveling salesmen or something?
Well, I guess you might call me that. Well, say, what's the excitement? What's the crowd doing in front of that hotel?
Where? Oh, yeah. Hey, lady, what's going on here?
That man up there on the ledge.
Where?
Up there on the window ledge of the hotel. He says he's going to jump at midnight.
Why?
I don't know. I guess he's crazy. He says he never wants to see another Christmas.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you can hardly blame the guy. Wait. There goes the chimes. Must be 11:45. Let me check my watch here. Yeah. Guy's got exactly 15 minutes before he jumps. Let's stick around.
Are you sure of the time?
Oh, certainly. I always set my watch by them chimes.
Well, how long has he been up there?
Oh, for hours. The police have been trying to find his wife.
His wife?
Yes. They think maybe if they found her, she could talk him out of it.
Come on, Archie.
Where are you going?
I'd like to talk to that fellow.
Are you crazy? They ain't going to let you in that hotel. Look at the cops guarding the doorway. Besides, you can't do nothing with a guy like that. He's nuts.
I'd like to talk to him anyway.
Okay, have it your way. We'll tell the cops we live in a hotel. But I better go along with you.
Hey, wait a minute, you. Where do you think you're going?
We live here. Me and me friend here was just going up to our suite.
You and what friend?
That guy there. That guy that just walked in.
Nobody walked in this hotel, Bud. And nobody's gonna walk in.
Okay, so nobody walked in. What am I going to do? Argue with you? I'm telling you, I just come in with the guy.
Look, son, why don't you go home and sleep it off?
Listen, you, don't come near and try to grab me. If you do, I'll jump.
I'm not going to grab you. I just came to talk to you. To see if maybe I could change your mind.
Too late to change my mind. As soon as those chimes ring, I'm jumping. I'm not afraid to die.
Maybe you're afraid to live. A lot of people are.
What have I got to live for?
Well, what have any of us got to live for? Look at those people down there on the street, hundreds of them, waiting for a ray of hope, a sign of courage in this frightened world. What you're doing might extinguish the last spark of faith in many of their tired hearts.
Their tired hearts. At least their wives are with them at Christmas. Come on, chimes, ring. Ring. Let's get it over with.
Your wife means a lot to you, doesn't she?
If she didn't, do you think I'd be up here? I haven't had one peaceful moment since she left me.
Well, why did she leave you?
Because I was a fool. But it's too late to think of that. Oh, why don't those chimes ring out and get it over with? What's slowing them up?
Nothing's slowing them up. It's just that in these last moments, the seconds seem like years.
Paul? Paul?
Anne?
Yes, darling, it's me.
Oh, Anne. Thank God you've come back.
My darling.
Those chimes. I was going to jump when I heard them.
Yes, I know. I was afraid I was too late. Thank God I got here in time.
Hello, Archie. Glad I found you again.
Hey, it's you. How did you do it, mister? How'd you stop that guy from jumping?
Just talked to him till his wife came. She just got there in time.
Yeah. Funny how she just got there in time, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Well, it happens I was looking at my watch, timing it out to see when the guy was going to jump.
So?
Them chimes rang 4 minutes late.
Maybe your watch is slow.
Oh, no, it ain't. Remember, I checked it with the chimes a little while ago, and them bells has never been wrong. Look, come on. Leave us get out of here. I'm getting back to the tavern. This is a little too slowly for me.
Okay, we'll take a cab. There's an empty one.
Where to, fellas? We want to go to Duffy's Tavern, quick. Okay. How about a little music?
Wait a minute.
There it is. Driver, please. Take that thing off of there, will you? Get something else.
Okay.
Oh, what the is? Leave it on there. Look, mister.
Yeah?
You know something? You stay pretty calm considering all the crazy things that have been happening tonight. It's a little weird. First the newsboy, then the guy on the window ledge.
Well, we all have our troubles, Archie. We all get off the track once in a while. We just need something bigger than ourselves to steer us straight.
You mean something like religion?
Call it that. Call it human kindness, tolerance, understanding.
Begin to see what you mean. Hey, driver, watch out for that guy. Look, don't worry, taxi. It wasn't your fault. The guy walked right out in front of you.
Yeah. Did you see him, mister? He walked right out in front of me.
Now, let's see how badly he's hurt.
Hey, we better call a cop.
Here comes the cop now.
All right. Stand back. Give the poor devil a chance.
Now, what happened here?
Well, the guy walked right out in front of the cab.
Yeah, the driver's right, officer. It wasn't a taxi's fault. We was riding along, and all of a sudden this guy stepped right out in front of the cab. Like he was blind.
Hey, wait a minute. He is a blind man. There's a chain there.
Here, maybe I can help him.
Wait a minute, you take your hands off him. It's against the law. Wait till the ambulance gets here.
Against the law to help someone?
You heard me. You never know when you're doing them more harm than good.
All right, officer, just as you say.
Hey, wait a minute. Look. The guy's getting up. What hit me? The crowd. The noise. I was all confused. Tell me, what? Oh, wait a minute. Lights and faces. I can see.
Easy now, mister. You better not try to get up.
I'm all right, I tell you. And I can see. For the first time since Okinawa, I can see. I didn't mean to hit you, bud. Didn't mean to hit him. You done him a favor. The guy says he can see. Hey, the shot must have given back his sight.
No, it wasn't that. Someone touched me. I felt a cool hand. And the minute he touched me, I was all right. Where is he? Where is he?
Come on, Archie, let's go. We've done all we can.
Well, it certainly is good to be back in the tavern again. I think we'd better have a little drink, though. You want to finish your wine, Bud?
No, thanks.
You know something? I'm all mixed up.
Mixed up?
Yeah, about this Christmas stuff.
Well, you see, Archie, as I said, Christmas isn't just a date on a calendar. Or a wreath in a window or a song. It's something in men's hearts. And they can let it die or keep it in their hearts the year round.
365 days of Christmas. You know, it's a funny thing. If you'd said that to me a little while ago, I'd have laughed in your face. But now, I don't know. But wait a second. I'd like to turn on the radio a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, that's a good one. Wonder what happened to that silent night. What do you think of that? All night long they played that same tune and it drove me nuts. Now all of a sudden I got a feeling I'd kind of like to hear it again.
Mr. Archie. Mr. Archie.
Huh? What is it, Eddie?
I finally got you some dance music on the radio.
Hey, I don't want no dance music. Turn it off, will you?
I wish you'd make up your mind.
Look, mister, until you walked in here today, Hey, Eddie. Eddie, what happened to that guy I was talking to?
Well, nobody talking to you.
You're nuts. He was standing here at the bar. He came in with me.
Mr. Archie, please, there's nobody here.
No? Maybe it was all... Eddie, you sure that there was nobody here?
No. Must have been seeing things.
Maybe you're right. But wait a minute. This glass of wine here. The glass is half empty.
Huh?
Nothing, Eddie, nothing. Just leave me alone for a little while, will you?
Okay. Good night, Mr. Archie.
Good night, Eddie. Eddie?
Yeah?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Archie. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Good night.
Night. Christmas. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Faraday. Faraday, just because we're going out to have Christmas dinner together, don't forget you're driving an automobile, not a sleigh.
Now, Blackie, don't tell me you object to Inspector Faraday being full of Christmas spirit on Christmas Eve.
No, Mary, I just object to his voice.
Very amusing. Blackie, I know now what I should have given you for Christmas. A sense of humor.
If I didn't already have one, how could I tolerate you?
Well, somebody should give you both a book of instructions on how to get along.
And especially him.
You know we're only kidding, Mary.
We are.
Stop that man. Stop that man.
What?
Hey.
Did you hear that, Blackie?
Stop it. Oh,
I
not
only
trouble
hear it,
on
I see it.
Christmas Eve.
Shopkeeper chasing a man up the street. Step on it, Faraday. We can catch him.
Don't tell me what to do.
Pull up to the curb now, Inspector, and I can grab him.
Now, take it easy. Take it easy.
Okay, we just passed him. Wait, don't jump till I've slowed down a little.
Well, hurry up, or he'll pass us.
Now, Blackie, be careful.
You mean, Blackie, be quick.
Well, now look out.
Here goes. All right, you. You hold it right here now.
Let go of me, man. Let go of me.
Sure, as soon as the shopkeeper you just robbed gets here. And here he comes.
Hold on a minute. He took 4 diamond rings out of my store. Now, give me those rings. Give them to me.
I don't have no rings of yours, Mac.
Oh, yes, you do. Right in your pocket here. I've watched you since you ran out of the store. You couldn't have given them to anybody.
I'll hold them while you sit.
Let go.
Okay. They're not here.
No, because I didn't take nothing, see?
Well, where are my rings? I want those rings.
So go find them. Only I got news for you. You ain't gonna find them on me.
And now on to Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy. Friend to those who have no friend.
He took the rings out of the tray on the counter here, Inspector Faraday.
You said that.
Yes, but he did. He took the rings and ran out that door.
Sorry, Mr. Stacy. Unless I find the stolen rings on this guy here, what can I do about it?
Nothing, Faraday. Absolutely nothing.
Quiet, you.
Look, Blackie, you and this copper pal of yours searched me twice. Out on the street and here in the store. The rings ain't on me.
But they are. You took them. I saw you.
If I took 'em, Mac, where are they now?
I have a pretty good idea.
I hope it's better than pretty good, Blackie, because this guy's made 4 rings do a pretty good disappearing act.
And I know how, too.
Yeah.
He threw them away when he saw he was being chased.
That's a lie.
Yes, he could have done that. He could have.
I'd like to bet he didn't.
Oh, go ahead, bet. Only let me alone. It's Christmas Eve. I got someplace to go.
I'll say you have. To headquarters, where I'm going to hold you until I find out who you are. And if you want it for anything else.
The only thing I want it for is Christmas Eve dinner. Hey, Blackie.
Yeah?
You're supposed to be such a genius. What happened?
Friend, before I'm through with you, for your Christmas dinner, I'm going to make you eat those words.
All visitors back behind the ropes, please. The passengers are coming down the gangplank now.
Hey, guard.
Yes, what is it?
My name's Clark. I'm here to pick up a guy who don't speak English. Say not a word of it. Will you help me find him?
You know what he looks like?
Yeah, he's a big guy, about 6'6", maybe 250 pounds. His name's Zabby.
Well, there's the big guy coming down the gangplank now with a sign on him. Maybe that's the guy.
Oh, yeah, he looks like the guy I want. Hey, Abby!
Yeah, he's coming over, so I guess he understands his name, even if he doesn't understand English.
Yeah, I guess so. Thanks.
No trouble at all. All visitors behind the ropes, please. He took you for a ride.
Sanya Abby. Polo Grino. Retsim Clark.
Ratsim Clark. Braga.
Sitaba Abby, you big jerk.
Braga. Ratsim Clark.
All right. You don't know what I'm talking about, Abby, because you don't know a word of English. But you use a gun good. Pretty good, they tell me. And if you do, we'll be speaking the same language, all right? Where are those rings, Martin? Where are they?
Listen, Clark, I told you I don't have them.
You're lying. I know you took them out of the store because I saw you run out of the place and beat it up the street.
Well, if you'd hung around, you'd have seen me nabbed and hauled off to police headquarters.
If you were caught by the police, you'd still be in jail.
Not me. I ain't got no record, remember? Blackie and that cop Faraday took me down there, checked on me, and let me go.
All right, you ran into trouble, but you got out of it. Now, where are those rings?
I ain't got
You
them.
took them out of the store, so why haven't you got them?
Calm down and give me a chance to tell you.
I'll give you just 10 seconds to hand over those rings. I spotted a jewelry store and cased it for you. Now, don't try to cross me.
Hey, now, look, don't get tough, or maybe I'll just leave the rings lay right where they are.
Oh, you will.
Yeah, I will. Hey, let go of me.
Sure. After I've taught you a little lesson.
Huh?
Hey, Abby, that totem.
Fantastic.
Hey, who's that monster?
He's a character wanted for murder in Europe. A friend of mine sent him to me for Christmas.
Friend, huh?
He don't understand no English, but he's tough. I'm going to prove that to you.
Yeah?
Abby.
There's Bruno.
Abby Lederlock.
Santa.
Hey.
Santa.
Hey, call this guy off. Call him off, I'll tell you. Call him off.
Santa.
Almost broke my jaw clock.
Abby. Struve Gondolak.
Yes, Dragana.
You lay off now, Martin. That is, unless you still have the idea you're not telling me what you did with those rings.
Sure, I'll tell you. When the jeweler was chasing me, I see a Santa Claus up the street ringing his bell and collecting stuff.
So?
So when I passed him just before Blackie grabbed me, I threw the rings in a big iron pot the Santa Claus had. Nobody saw me, and I know how to get them back.
You better. No, I thought for a minute there that you was going to be the only guy in history who gave Santa Claus a present.
Blackie, what's the matter with you and Inspector Faraday? Everybody else in this restaurant is having fun, but look at you two.
I'm sorry, Mary. And I don't like what that guy Joe Martin did to us this evening.
And I don't like the fact that we had nothing on him in the file at headquarters.
No, eat your dinner, both of you.
All right.
This is Christmas Eve, and we're supposed to be having a party.
When we let Martin go, my appetite went with him.
Well,
Blackie, what did he do with those rings?
Who knows? He took them according to the jeweler, but he got rid of them somehow without being seen. Apparently he didn't throw them away because we searched the street.
No. When you two see Santa Claus, tell him that what you want for Christmas is an explanation of how Martin got rid of those rings.
Hey, wait a minute, Mary. That's not a bad thought.
Hmm?
No. I know how those rings were hidden and why they haven't been found.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Blackie. What's Santa Claus got to do with that?
Martin gave the rings to Santa Claus.
What? Blackie, haven't you heard? There ain't no Santa Claus.
There was one ringing a little bell on the corner near the jewelry store.
Yes, and Martin passed him just a few seconds before I caught up with him.
Yeah, but how would Martin give those rings to Santa Claus without Santa Claus knowing it?
By tossing them in his collection bucket, Faraday. Come on, we're getting out of here.
Blackie, that Santa Claus won't still be there.
No, but all those street corner St. Nick's are working for the Welfare Society.
Yeah, so?
I'll call them, and they'll tell me where we can find the guy.
You think Santa Claus still has the rings, huh?
Yeah. If Martin hasn't found him by now and taken them back, in which case we'll find Santa Claus has been clipped.
Who is it?
Joe Martin, Clark.
Come in.
It's me.
Never mind the introduction. Where are the rings?
Well, keep 2-ton Tony from the bed away from me. I got the rings right here.
Well, where I want them is right here in my hand.
Sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Have any trouble with Santa Claus?
Yeah, no, the plan worked great.
Good.
You'll never even be able to tell anybody I was there.
I'll be a good little boy. And I take you in to see Santa Claus, Faraday, and maybe he'll bring you a nice little promotion.
Yeah. Look, he's an off-duty Santa Claus right now.
I know.
According to the Welfare Society, his name is Henry James. How many more flights are there? Only this is a fine way to spend Christmas Eve.
Well, we may spend from now till New Year's working on a murder case, Faraday, if the welfare agency was right. And another guy phoned for information about this same Santa Claus just before we did.
I know.
Oh, finally, here's the door.
Yeah, if he's in the kind of trouble you claim he is, he won't be in any condition to answer the door.
Don't remind me.
You and your theories. You had no right to think he's dead.
I hope I'm wrong. But I'll guarantee if he's not dead, he's tied up or unconscious or both.
Well, if you're so smart, you have that all figured out. You ought to be smart enough to know the only way we'll get in is to open the door ourselves.
Brilliant deduction, Inspector.
Yeah, that's all mine.
I'll try the door to see if it's locked.
Blackie, how do you think up such wonderful ideas?
Uh-oh. Somebody's opened it for us.
Oh, sorry to keep you gentlemen waiting so long. I was taking a nap.
Are you Henry James?
Yes?
The Santa Claus on the corner near that jewelry store that was robbed earlier this evening?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm Boston Blackie, and this is Inspector Faraday of the police.
Oh, how do you do?
How are you?
I saw you catch the thief, Blackie.
You did?
Won't you come in?
Thank you. James.
Yeah?
Did you have a visitor a little while ago?
A visitor?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no visitor.
No one came here and held you up to get back the 4 stolen rings he tossed in your collection?
Why, no, Inspector Faraday. No one's been here. And my collection bucket's right here on the table, it's untouched.
This collection bucket of yours hasn't been touched, James?
Certainly not.
Blackie, according to you, Joe Martin tossed the rings in the Santa Claus collection bucket. This is it.
I know.
According to you, Martin called the Welfare Society and found out where this particular Santa Claus lived.
Somebody asked about Mr. James before I called.
You don't say. But Mr. James says nobody's been here.
Well, you ought to know.
And you ought to know how ridiculous you are. I've looked through this collection bucket and there are no rings here. Nothing but coins. Santa Claus wasn't held up here. No rings were ever dropped in his bucket out on the street. Blackie, how wrong can a guy get?
And now, back to Boston Blackie. Joe Martin steals 4 rings from a jewelry store. Just before he is caught by Boston Blackie, he runs down the street and tosses the rings into the collection box of a street corner Santa Claus. Later, at Santa's room, he apparently recovers the jewelry. But when Blackie and Inspector Faraday come to see Santa, whose real name is Henry James, insists that his collection box has not been touched. As we return to our story, Blackie continues his questioning of Santa Claus.
Look, Mr. James.
Yeah, Blackie.
Faraday has gone back to headquarters because he thinks I'm wrong.
Well, maybe he's right.
But I still say that Martin tossed those rings into your collection bucket.
Believe me, Blackie, the collection is right here. It's untouched. Yeah, I was about to take it to the Welfare Society, and as I said before, no one's been here to see me. No one. But you and the inspector.
You're sure you're not playing Santa Claus to Joe Martin?
Working with a thief? I should say not. I don't know why you should think so.
Because when I called the Welfare Society to get your name and address, I was told there'd been another call inquiring about you just a half an hour before.
Is that so?
I think that was Joe Martin calling to find out where he could find you.
Well, no Joe Martin came here, Blackie. In fact, nobody did.
And you've been right here in your room ever since you came back to get out of your Santa Claus suit?
Yeah, Blackie. Every minute, No, wait. I was out for just a minute on the telephone at the end of the hall.
Who was on the phone and when was this?
Oh, about 20 minutes ago. It was a man at the Welfare Society asked me if I'd collected a lot of money tonight.
Did the man say who he was?
No, just that he was an officer of the society. I wouldn't have known him if he had given his name. I work for the society only at Christmas time.
That's it, then. While you were on the phone talking to Martin or some friend of his, either Martin or an accomplice slipped in here and got back those stolen rings. Isn't that possible?
Well, yes, it is. My back was to the hall while I was on the phone, and the door to this room was partially open.
And thanks to what you've just told me, Mr. James, this case is practically closed. Now, Mary, don't stuff me so full of pillows that I can't stand up.
Blackie, you want to look like a big, fat, jolly Santa Claus, don't you?
Yes, but not like an overstuffed chair.
There. You're well padded and your coat's buttoned up. Now, try on your beard and let's see how you look.
Say, if I get clipped with this thing on my face, you might say my assailant is beating around the bush.
Oh, Blackie.
Well, how do I look?
With your cap on, I'd never know you, and that would be all right with me.
Well, you think that Joe Martin will know me?
Oh, I don't think so. He doesn't know you as well as I do to begin with. I wish you wouldn't try this, though, Blackie.
It's the only thing I can do, since Faraday wouldn't give me any help but Martin's address.
Well, in a way, he can't be blamed for not offering you any help. This isn't a murder case.
That's
and
true.
Besides, you've been wrong all along.
According to him, that is.
Well, young lady, hand me that sack of phony presents, and I'll put this case in the bag.
Faraday, homicide.
Hello, Inspector. This is Mary Wesley.
All right, let's have it, Miss Wesley.
Have what?
Blackie's newest theory on how to make me waste my time.
Blackie's newest plan isn't going to waste any of your time, Inspector. In
That's
fact,
new.
you may not have enough time to get down there and help him.
Get down where?
Well, after you gave him that fellow Martin's address, he got dressed in a Santa Claus suit and went down there alone.
What's he bothering Martin for?
Well,
we haven't got anything on him.
Blackie is positive that Martin retrieved those stolen rings from Santa Claus's collection bucket.
And I'm positive Blackie's positively out of his mind.
Well, anyway, I think you ought to go over to Martin's right away. You know the way Blackie's little schemes sometimes get him into trouble.
This time I hope he gets himself into plenty of trouble.
Well, gee.
Yeah, maybe it'll get him out of my hair.
I gotta hand it to you, Clark. That was
Yeah.
a slick trick calling that Santa Claus at his house and keeping him on the phone while I sneaked in and got the rings out of his collection.
It was just luck that it worked. What would we have done, Martin, if he'd taken his collection right down from his corner to the Welfare Society?
Yeah, that would have been just too bad, I guess.
Too bad for you.
Why?
Well, because my boy Abby knows how to use a gun as well as his fist.
Hey, look, you got the rings back, didn't you?
Yeah, sure, over there on the table. I came to your room to be sure I got him back.
Ah.
But Abby's going to be my chief assistant from now on, in charge of guys who make mistakes. Understand?
Okay, I understand. But it's sure going to be tough working with a guy who can't speak English or understand it.
I don't want him to be easy to work with. If you can't talk to him, you can't get friendly with him. Trigger men shouldn't have friends. They can...
Hey, wait a minute. Who's there?
It's Santa Claus.
Get rid of him, Martin.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, son. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Fatso, beat it.
The same Santa, Martin?
No. Beat it, Mac. You got the wrong house.
Oh, Merry Christmas, my boy. Can you spare
Beat it, I said.
Now, wait a minute, Martin. He's collecting for the poor. Let him come in a minute.
Okay. Come on, Santa. Come on in.
Thank you. And a Merry Christmas.
What do you want from us, Santa?
Oh, anything you care to give. Just anything to help make it a Merry Christmas for the poor. Like those 4 diamond rings on the table there.
How about letting me give that beard of yours a touch?
Hey, no.
Hey, it's Boston Blackie.
I thought it was some kind of gag. Watch out, he's going to swing that sack he's carrying.
You'll have to swing it fast or not.
Good work, Martin. You really flattened him. Now get him up on his feet. I've got a gun on him.
Sure. Oh, come on, Blackie, get up.
Thanks.
Hey, what are you going to do with him? You can't kill him here.
I'm going to turn him over to Abby and let Abby take him for a little walk. Hey, Abby.
This is pretty dangerous, Clark.
Be a whole lot more dangerous if Blackie stays alive. Don't forget he's seen the rings, and I'm wanted for murder out west, and Blackie can describe me.
I sure can.
Hey, Abby. What's the matter with that big hunk? Sanya, Abby. Yeletag Jalarov Yasada, Nugula.
Sena.
Okay, Martin, he knows.
Just what kind of language is that?
Quiet, Blackie. All you have to know is that Abby's taking you for a walk with a gun in your back.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Abby Uka.
Come on, Clark. Have Abby get this guy out of here. The cops may not be far behind him.
We better wait until those carol singers outside go away.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. They won't suspect anything. I'll have Abby take them out right now.
But what about those carol singers? They're just outside the house.
I'll tell Abby to keep a gun on Blackie and shoot him if he opens his mouth.
Hey, I got a better idea. Make Blackie sing and keep him singing. Then it'll seem like he's happy going down the street with Abby.
Yeah, good idea.
I'm really not in good voice this evening, gentlemen.
And you won't be in good condition when Abby gets through with you.
Quiet, Martin. Hey, Abby. Suraretsum, Blackie Lingo. Finestuda. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
All right. Go on, get going. Start singing, Blackie. Go on, start singing.
A command performance, huh? Oh, I didn't know you had such an appreciation for my talent.
So long, Blackie. So long.
So long.
I said keep singing, Blackie. If you stop once more, Abby will shoot.
I won't stop then. So long.
So long, sucker.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in the one-horse open sleigh. Give me help, I can't yelp, but I'm on a spot. Where we'll go, I don't know, but I know I'll be shot.
Hey, hear what that guy says?
When I pass, jump him fast. Oh, listen to my squawk.
Hey, listen to those
I have
words.
to sing this silly thing, 'cause he'll kill me if I talk.
Hey, I don't think that
What
guy's
you
shit.
speak to him is Greek. He doesn't know a thing.
Come on, let's jump the guy.
So
Watch out
that's
for
why
gun.
I just passed you by and let you hear me sing.
All right, now get him.
Here, let me at him, fellas. I can take care of him myself now.
Hey, nice punch, mister.
Nice going yourself, fellas. For understanding those words I was singing.
Okay, but at first we thought you were nuts. Hey, here comes a police car. Hey, Blackie, you all right?
Well, Faraday, you decided to give me some help after all.
Yeah. When Miss Wesley phoned me and said you were going through with your crazy plan, I thought I'd better get down here and keep you out of trouble. Who was the big guy on the sidewalk?
The guy working for Martin and his buddy who was going to give me a one-way ride into the country.
Oh, great.
He's safe here. Let's go into the house and get Martin and his friend who wanted to go out west.
Yeah, come on. Oh, look. There they go making a break for it.
Yeah. Well, let's break up that break.
Stop, you. Stop in the name of the law.
Look out, Rodney. They're trying to shoot their way out.
This'll stop him.
Yeah, that made him stop. Come on, let's grab him.
Watch out, Blackie. That guy's got a gun.
You're not going to get a chance to use it, though, boy. I've got this one. Take care of the other one, Faraday.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay. Okay, lay off, copper.
Come on, Blackie, no more.
Okay, Martin, no more. If you give me those rings.
Clark's got him.
Come on, you Clark. Let's have him.
Yeah. Okay, here they are. There.
1, 2, 3, 4. They're all there, Faraday.
Good.
And Martin, Clark, and their pal Abby are all yours.
Wow. You take these guys back to my squad car, will you, Blackie? After this chase, I'm tired.
Oh, great, old man.
Yeah.
I go all out to catch these guys, and you're the one who's all in.
More turkey, Inspector Faraday?
Yeah, a little bit, Miss Worthing.
And Blackie? How about you?
Oh, I'll have more of everything,
Mary. You.
Yeah, if turkey were brain food, I'd say you had plenty of room for it, Blackie.
Now, Inspector, this is Christmas Day. You and Blackie promised not to fight.
Mary, he's still upset because the case we just worked on didn't involve a murder.
You talk as if I like murder, Blackie.
You must like it, Inspector. The way you've murdered that turkey.
Very droll.
You mean very drool, don't you?
Now she's telling me what I mean. This thing must be contagious.
You know, Inspector, I'm glad the stolen rings case wasn't more complicated than it turned out to be.
Yeah, I'm glad we got it solved before Christmas was over.
Me too. Well, Inspector, men generally put a ring on a finger. But because Clark and Martin stole some rings, we put the finger on them. Hello, everybody. This is Dick Calmer. Every week after we finish one of our Boston Blackie shows, I indicate what I hope we'll be doing the following week.
Look,
Now, just a second. This time, it's going to be a little different.
Blackie, what's with you? What is going on here?
Just a minute, Faraday, please.
Mm-hmm.
Friends, I said I'm not going to tell you what we will be doing next week.
That's good.
I'm going to tell you what we hope you will be doing.
Very confusing.
Isn't almost everything confusing to you, Inspector? Listen, everybody.
What for?
Now, patience, Faraday, patience. Next week, I hope you and everyone you know and love will be enjoying the best holiday season you ever had.
Yeah, now...
That the next year will be a great year for all of you.
Could I say something, Blackie?
You, Inspector, can say anything, and you probably will.
All I say is, Merry Christmas to our listeners, Blackie. Merry Christmas to them all. Well, Genius, how about one of your usual taglines?
Not this time, Faraday. Mm-hmm. All I say to everybody from Mary Wesley and all our cast is, until our next meetings, season's greetings.
dark except for a ray of moonlight coming through the window. I started reaching around for the light switch. Then I saw something glinting in the air. It was a knife blade. It was headed straight for my throat.
The New Adventures of Michael Shayne, Private Detective, starring Jeff Chandler. Michael Shayne, reckless, red-headed Irishman, is back again in his old haunts in New Orleans. This is your director, Bill Russo, inviting you to listen to another transcribed episode, which we call The Case of the Mail Order Murders. Who is it?
Shayne, Mike Shayne.
Oh. Hello, Mr. Shayne. Come in quickly, please.
Yeah. Hey, look, what's all
Did anyone follow you here to my apartment, Mr. Shayne?
Follow me? Well, not that I know of. What's this all about, and why the hocus-pocus routine?
I can't afford to take any chances.
Oh? Can you afford to tell me what it's all about?
My name is Kinsella, William Kinsella.
Yeah, I know. You told me that over the phone.
You're sure no one followed you here?
Sure enough. Now, you're going to let me in on
I
what's...
want to hire you, Mr. Shayne.
Ah, that's the first thing you've said that makes sense. What do you want me to do?
Protect me.
Oh, from what?
I don't know.
You don't know? Now, let's not start the double talk again.
Please, Mr. Shayne. Well, to tell the truth, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Yeah, I can see that, but what of?
I tell you, I don't know. Sure, it sounds insane, but here, Mr. Shayne, I received this through the mail this afternoon.
Yeah, 4 names at the top of the page.
Yes.
William Kinsella, Ellen Dant, Joshua Jeffett, and Tom Swigert.
Yes. Now, read what's written underneath the names, Mr. Shayne.
Those who have sinned will be punished. It may come swiftly or slowly or by an unknown hand, but punishment is inevitable, and the punishment is death.
Yes. Yes, you see now why I'm terrified. It's a death note, Mr. Shayne. A death note. And my name is at the top of the list. In a moment, we'll return to the new adventures of Michael Shayne and the case of the mail order murders.
Well, it had started out as a pretty routine day. I'd helped an elderly lady find a necklace which turned out to be mislaid instead of stolen, and I'd spent the afternoon at a pretty stuffy wedding reception guarding the gifts. But then in the evening, a jittery little guy named Kinsella called me over to his apartment and showed me a death note he'd just gotten, listing his name with 3 others. One look at Kinsella's face told me he thought the guy who'd sent the note meant business.
Mr. Shayne, you've got to protect me. Money's no object. First,
Now, just a minute, Mr. Kinsella. Let's slow down a little, huh? Have you any idea who might have sent the note?
None. Not at all, Mr. Shayne. It's a complete and horrible mystery to me.
Sounds like some kind of fanatic or crank. Those who have sinned will be punished.
Yes, it does sound like some sort of fanatic, but who?
This the first notes you've gotten?
No, there have been others, but I never paid much attention before because the notes were vague. But this note mentions death, and it lists names.
Yeah. I wonder if the boy who wrote the note is after you himself or if he's thinking of sending someone.
What do you mean?
The note says death may come by an unknown hand.
But that's the terrible part of this whole thing. I don't know who sent the threat. I don't know who's after me, and I most certainly don't know why.
The note says something about those who have sinned.
That's ridiculous. There's nothing, absolutely nothing in my past that would possibly warrant such...
Yeah. Well, what do these friends of yours say about it?
Friends? What friends?
Well, the other names on the list here. Let's see, Ellen Dant, Joshua Jeffett, Tom Swigert.
They're no friends of mine.
Well, acquaintances, then.
You don't understand, Mr. Shayne. I don't even know these people.
Huh?
I've never heard of any of them. Their names mean nothing to me.
You sure about that, Mr. Kinsella?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sort of complicates things. I thought maybe if I could find something to connect you with these other 3, some link between you, we might have something to go on. But...
Mr. Shayne, please stay here with me and protect me, at least long enough for me to wind up my affairs so that I can leave New Orleans if necessary.
Well,
I don't know what your usual rate of pay is per day, but I'll double it.
You know, you're getting more convincing by the moment, Mr. Kinsella.
I have plenty of room for you here.
Okay. I'll go home, pick up a toothbrush, and be back here in an hour. I went outside and down the street.
I was thinking about how terrified Kinsella seemed to be about the whole thing. I was wondering if maybe he knew a little more about why someone wanted to kill him than he'd told me. Then about half a block away from Kinsella's apartment, I spotted what was undoubtedly one of the last of its kind in existence. An organ grinder man. He was a stocky, barrel-chested gent. The hand organ he was cranking sounded as if it was protesting against overwork. On his shoulder perched a little monkey dressed in a red corduroy suit and a green hat with a feather. The whole sight took me back about 20 years. So I fished around in my pocket for a coin and waited for him. Hello? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
Well,
I guess you didn't see me. Sort of a dark night.
Yes, a dark night.
Oh, yeah. You know, I haven't seen an organ grinder since I was a kid, practically.
So? There's not many of us left now.
No, I guess not. You're working kind of late tonight, huh?
Night or day makes no difference.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Hey, it's a monkey you got there.
It's a fine monkey, Pepe. You want to see Pepe do dance?
No, I'm afraid I haven't the time.
Name is Demetrius.
Demetrius. Some other time. Huh? Here's a little something.
You talk to Pepe. He catch.
Okay. Hey, he could play shortstop on a few teams I know of. Where'd you get him?
Must go now. Thanks, mister. Good night.
Demetrius started cranking the hand organ again and moved on down the street. Pepe turned around, stared at me a moment, and then delicately stuck out his tongue. Such gratitude. I went to my room, picked up my things, and went back to Kinsella's apartment. He showed me to my new room. I suggested he lock his door and also his window because it was a ground-floor apartment. Then we both turned in. I guess it was a little after midnight when something woke me up. I couldn't tell just what it was, but I remembered vaguely hearing some kind of sound. I got out of bed and went out in the living room, turned on the lights. Nothing there. Then I went to Kinsella's bedroom door. Mr. Kinsella? Mr. Kinsella? Hey, Kinsella!
What is it?
It's Shane. Open the door.
What's the matter, Shane?
You had me worried for a minute.
I guess I was sound asleep. What is it?
Something woke me up. A slight noise. I thought I'd better check to make sure you're okay.
Oh, yes, I know, right? Matter of fact, I was having a very pleasant dream. I could hear some sort of strange music. Seemed like it was right under my window.
Music?
Yes, like a calliope. I could hear...
A calliope?
Oh, sort of.
Hey, wait a minute. Could it have been a hand organ?
Why, yes, that's what it was. I dreamt I...
Maybe the music wasn't a dream. Demetrius really does work late.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Skip it. Well, let's turn in again. Nothing happened the rest of the night, except that I had a long dream about perching on a guy's shoulder dressed in a red corduroy suit while people tossed nickels at me. Well, might be an easier way to make a living at that. The next morning, bright and early, I told Kinsella to lock himself in for the day. Then I went down to police headquarters and in the door marked homicide.
Hello, Shane.
Good morning, Inspector. How's the mastermind of the Homicide Bureau these days?
Thanks. You looking for a job, Shane, or you want to borrow some dough?
No. As you sometimes say, LaFever, wrong twice. I already have a job. Matter of fact, that's what I came down to talk to you about.
I'm all...
Ears. I know.
Talk, funny man.
I've been hired by a guy named Kinsella who received what looks like a crank note. He was taking the whole thing very seriously.
So?
So the note has 4 names on it, Kinsella. Ellen Dant, Joshua Jaffet, and Tom Swigert. May not be anything to it, but I just thought I'd drop in and let you know.
Have it again.
Have what again?
The list.
William Kinsella, Ellen Dant, Joshua Jaffet, and Tom Swigert.
Yeah.
Why, do you know any of them? How about Ellen Dant? Kinsella said her name meant nothing to him.
Or me.
How about Joshua Jaffet?
And I've never heard of your client, Kinsella. Only one we have a line on is this Tom Swigert.
Swigert's his last name on the list. What about him?
Shane, did you ever hear of the Gouge killing a couple of years back?
The Gouge killing? No. What was that?
Well, there was a rich old gent named Daniel Gouge. He used to live on the island of Capri in the Mediterranean. One day he turned up dead with quite a few thousand of his dollars missing. This guy, Tom Swigert, was on the island at the time. He was questioned about the killing, but he was released later for lack of evidence.
Do you think this note Kinsella got has anything to do with the Gouge killing?
I don't know, yet.
You suppose maybe there's some connection between Swigert and the rest of the names on the list, then?
That'd be a guess, Shane, and right now I'm not in a guessing mood.
Of course, the whole thing could be some crackpot's idea of a joke.
Might?
You don't think so, huh?
Nope.
Hey, incidentally, how come this Tom Swigert's the only guy on the list you know anything about? He a friend of yours or something?
Not exactly a friend. Right now, he's sort of a special project of mine.
What do you mean?
We found Swigert down near the waterfront last night. Had a knife in his back. Very dead.
In a moment, we'll return to the new adventures of Michael Shayne and the case of the mail-order murders. It all started when a guy named Kinsella hired me to protect him from an unknown killer who'd sent him a death threat. On the note were listed 4 names: Kinsella, Ellen Dant, Joshua Jaffet, and Tom Swigert. Kinsella said he didn't know any of the other 3. So the next morning, I wasn't sure just how seriously to take the note when I went down to police headquarters to tell Inspector Lefebvre about it. But Lefebvre took it very seriously, and with good reason. He told me that the last man on the list, Tom Swigert, had been murdered the night before.
So, like I say, Shane, whoever wrote that note means business.
You know, Lefebvre, it'd be interesting if it turned out that the reason Swigert was killed had something to do with that Gouge killing.
I don't feel like playing guessing games.
Well, maybe we'll find out before long, huh?
Shane, you're a real nice boy.
Lefebvre, there's only one reason you ever say those sweet things to me. That's when you want me to keep out of something.
Yeah.
Why?
Because whoever wrote that note wasn't kidding. He's vicious and deadly. He's already killed once, and there are 3 more names on his list.
So?
So if you get mixed up in it and get in his way, you could get burned bad.
Thanks for the advice, Lefebvre.
No charge.
Tell you what, I'll carry my little fire extinguisher with me full time.
You do that, Shane. Just one more thing.
Oh, no, Lefebvre. You're not going to give me that don't leave town routine again.
I was going to suggest that you do.
That evening, I decided to pay a call on Ellen Dant, whose name was right under Kinsella's on the death list. I looked up her address and went over. Ellen lived in an expensive-looking apartment, and she was a very smooth-looking creature. She wasn't very impressed when I told her about the note Kinsella had gotten.
Mr. Shane, I've never heard of this man Kinsella. Why should I be concerned about his getting threatening notes? I got one of them, too. But I think it's probably somebody's feeble idea of a joke.
Not much of a joke, Miss Dant. Kinsella says he doesn't know you.
That makes it mutual, then, as I've been trying to tell you.
How about a gent named Joshua Jaffet?
I'm afraid I don't know him either.
Or Tom Swigert?
Really, Mr. Shane?
That's just as well you didn't know Swigert, I guess. He got himself killed last night.
Oh?
But that doesn't concern you.
No, it doesn't. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Sure, just one more thing, Miss Dant. Ever happen to hear of a rich old guy named Daniel Gouge?
Gouge?
Yeah, I used to live on the island of Capri.
Really, Mr. Shane? Running around asking people about names they've never heard of before. Haven't you anything better to do?
Not right now, Ellen, but maybe I'll think of something. See you around. My next stop was at the home of Joshua Jaffet over on the other side of town. He was a tall, thin guy with thick glasses, a sharp nose, and a sharper tongue. And he kept the nose buried in an enormous stamp album.
Mr. Shane, must you stand in my light? I can't even see these stamps, let alone get them in the right place.
I'm sorry. There's that better.
A little.
Quite a collection you got there.
One of the best.
You seem to specialize in stamps from the Mediterranean, eh?
Any law against that?
Not that I know of. Ever done much traveling around there?
None. Now, where did I put that Malta step? Now, look here, Shane.
I'm looking.
This is all foolishness. Complete, utter foolishness. Just because I got a crackpot note from some pranks, there's no reason for you to come around bothering me with your silly questions. I've told you I don't know any of the people on the list. Now, if you guys...
Maybe I...
Mr. Shane, will you stop standing in my light?
I got out of Joshua's light and out of his house. But outside, it occurred to me friend Joshua had been just a little too quick to say no when I asked him if he'd ever been in the Mediterranean. So I went across the street and waited in the dark. I didn't know exactly what I was waiting for, but I waited anyway. Then, about 10 minutes later, I heard someone coming down the street. Yeah, it was my old friend Demetrius, the organ grinder man. Hello, Demetrius.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah. Hey, you really get around, don't you?
You maybe follow me, mister?
Me? No, matter of fact, I was beginning to wonder if it wasn't the other way around.
I don't know what you talk about.
Oh, no. Of course not. Where do you usually hang out around town?
The street they call San Louis.
You been in this country long, Demetrius?
No, not so long, mister.
Where do you come from?
It's a long way from here. Sunny land, blue water.
It sounds like the Mediterranean.
Yes, it's a beautiful place.
That's what they tell me, Demetrius.
Good night, mister.
Demetrius disappeared around the corner. I stood there a while longer across the street and up a little way from Jaffett's house. It was about 10 minutes later that a dark-colored coupe turned the corner and eased to a stop in front of the house. Someone got out and headed for the door. I couldn't see very much, but it looked like a woman. Then as she opened the door, the light from the hall outlined her face. It was Ellen Dant. Yeah, the girl who said she'd never heard of Joshua Jaffett. She closed the door behind her, but not more than 2 minutes later, she came flying out again and jumped into a car. I started across the street toward her. Hey, wait a minute! Ellen! Hey! But I was too late. I crossed the street and walked in the open front door of Jaffett's house. There was no one in sight. I started down the hall, and when I got to the library, I stopped. Yeah, there was Jaffett, all right. Sitting at his desk, his nose still buried in the stamp album. And like Tom Swigert, he had a knife in his back. And also like Swigert, Jaffett was dead. I stood there a minute or two looking at the charming sight in front of me, and then I went over and picked up a telephone.
Calling me, Shane?
Lefevre.
Looks like the boy we're after is quite a knife artist, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not so sure he's a boy. You know, the more I think about it, Lefevre, the more it looks like these killings are tied up with the one over in Capri 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You found out any more about what really happened over there?
A little, not much. This rich old guy, Gouge, lived alone, except for one combination servant and secretary. Looks like now there were several in on the killing. Maybe it was a hired job, huh? Shane, I told you once to get out of this deal. Now I'm telling you twice. I think you're biting off a lot more than you can chew.
You forget, Inspector. I have a real strong jaw.
Mm-hmm. Just be sure you don't lead with it.
Lefevre's boys arrived about then and went to work. I left, and I went straight to Ellen Dant's apartment. Because it looked to me like this case was going to wind up real fast, and I couldn't think of a better place to wind it up than at her apartment. I didn't even bother to knock because the door was unlocked. I pushed it open with my foot and waited. Nothing happened. I went in. The room was dark except for a ray of moonlight coming through the window. I started reaching around for a light switch. Then I saw something glinting in the air. It was a knife blade that was coming down at me fast. I lunged to one side, and the blade ripped down through my coat sleeve. I tried to grab it, but I was off balance, and then the knife came down through the air again, and this time it was headed straight for my throat. We'll be back in a moment with a thrilling climax to tonight's Michael Shayne adventure. Well, there I was in Ellen Dant's apartment, in the dark, with a knife coming down at my throat. I managed to get one hand up just in time to grab the knife blade. It cut into my palm, but I held on and grabbed the killer's wrist with my other hand. It was a small wrist, but strong. The knife started twisting up at me, so I put everything I had into one wrench and dove for the floor, twisting the killer's wrist as I fell. Suddenly, the knife went skittering across the floor. I jumped to my feet just as the door slammed. I went out in the hall, but whoever it was had been too fast for me. There was no one in sight out on the street when I got there. Oh, I gave up the chase and headed to Kinsella's apartment. And I wasn't in a very pleasant mood. Look, Kinsella, I'm getting awfully tired of this whole deal.
But, Mr. Shane,
you lied to me when you said you didn't know what this is all about.
Oh. All right, Mr. Shane. It's true. I have lied to you. But you apparently know a lot of the story already. I might as well tell you the rest of it.
Spill it.
I was Daniel Gouge's secretary in Capri. He was murdered for his money. I found out who the killer was. I've been running away ever since. The killer has been following me and has had someone else after me. Someone I don't know.
Yeah? Why didn't you tell the police who the killer was?
I know I should have done that long ago, but I don't expect anyone to understand, but it was because of the way I felt about the killer. I couldn't help myself.
I see. Just one more question. Did Daniel Gouge have any particular girlfriend?
Yes, Mr. Shane.
Okay. We're going to set a little trap. Here's a pencil. I want you to write a note to Gouge's girlfriend, Ellen Dance.
Mr. Shane.
Tell her you'll turn her in unless she meets you on the corner in front of my office at midnight with some dough.
But I couldn't do that.
Look, I'll be there with you.
I wasn't thinking of myself. I just...
Look, you want to go on this way forever?
No, but...
Write it.
Very well. What are you going to do with it?
Gonna use it as bait. You're not exactly the world's best penman, are you?
I'm sorry. It's because I'm nervous and upset, I guess. I'm having a hard time forming the letters.
Yeah.
I'll write another note.
Never mind. I think Ellen will be able to read this one all right. Okay, Kinsella, stay here in your apartment until 11:15, then take a cab to my office and meet me on the corner in front. I think maybe we'll get this whole thing wound up. I put the note in my pocket and left. I went over to St. Louis Street and hung around until Demetrius, the monkey organ man, came along. I made a little conversation with him and invited him to the party in front of my office. Then I called the Fever's office and left an invitation for him, too. I was hoping it'd be quite a gathering. Kinsella was the first to arrive, right on the dot at midnight.
Mr. Shane.
Yeah, you're right on time, Kinsella.
Yes, I've been riding around in the cab for a few minutes, waiting until 12. Has she shown up?
Not yet. We'll just stand here in the shadows and wait.
Mr. Shane, would it be all right if I sort of kept out of sight when she comes? I just would rather not see her after all that's happened and, well, because of the way I feel about her.
Yeah, I think that'd be okay, Kinsella.
I'd appreciate it very much. It isn't easy for me to do this. Mr. Shane, someone's coming.
Relax, it isn't Ellen.
Shane?
Hello, Lefevre.
I got your message. Now, what's this all about?
Just giving a little party, Lefevre. I know you'd never forgive yourself if you missed it.
Mr. Shane, who's this?
Lefevre, a friend of mine. Lefevre, this is Mr. Kinsella, my client.
Hello?
I'm afraid I don't understand this, Mr. Shane. I thought just you and I were to be...
Wait a minute. Yeah, here he comes.
Here who comes?
The guest of honor. Guy named Demetrius.
Why, it's an organ grinder.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Shane, do you think that he is working for Ellen?
Well, we'll soon find out. Hello, Demetrius.
Hello, mister.
This supposed to be the floor show, Shane?
You never can tell, Lefevre.
Mr. Shane, will you kindly explain... Mister!
What's the matter, Demetrius?
Who is this man with you?
He's my client, Mr. Kinsella. Why?
He's the one, mister. He's the one.
Huh?
Yes, he's the one I saw leave his apartment the night the first man was killed. Yes, this is Kinsella.
Let's have that again.
Why, the man's insane. Yes, I saw him. And then when the second man was killed, I was near his house. I looked through the window. I saw this Kinsella stab him to death.
I tell you, he's crazy.
And then tonight, when you were at the woman's apartment, mister, this Kinsella was there too. He attacked you.
Kinsella's got a gun.
I see it, Lefevre. I see it. Oh. Well, I think that'll keep our friend Kinsella on ice until your voice and caught him away, Lefevre.
Yeah. So Kinsella was the knife artist, huh?
Sure looks that way. Now, if we only had the girl, we'd be...
She's been in jail for an hour, Shane. We picked her up.
Oh? Did you get a story out of her?
Yeah. From what she said, it looks like she, Jaffet, and Swigert hired a guy to kill Gouge over on Capri. The three of them then decided to cross the killer. They took the dough and left in a hurry. So now it turns out that Kinsella here was the killer, and he's been looking for them ever since.
That sounds logical. He put his own name on top of the death list to take suspicion off of him.
Well, all I can say is you're longer on luck than you're on brain, Shane.
Oh?
Arranging this little trap to pick up the wrong girl. Plenty lucky for you this guy Demetrius spilled what he'd seen and broke the case for you.
I guess you're right, Lefevre.
Yeah, maybe next time you'll remember to keep out of these things.
I'll try to, sir.
Mister.
Oh, yeah, Demetrius. I'd almost forgotten you were here. Thanks. Thanks a lot for all your help.
That's all right, mister.
Here's a little something for your trouble. No, over here.
Thank you, mister. Thank you.
Demetrius didn't see that dough you held out to him.
No.
He's blind.
Mm-hmm. Demetrius is blind.
Shane...
Like you say, Lefevre, it's lucky he broke the case for me, isn't it? Good night, genius.
This is your director, Bill Russo, again.
Our story is based on characters created by Brett Halliday and written by Bob Wright. The music is composed and conducted by John Duffy, and Michael Shayne is portrayed by Jeff Chandler. The New Adventures of Michael Shayne is a Don W. Sharp production, transcribed in Hollywood and distributed exclusively by the Broadcasters Guild. Next week, you'll hear Michael Shayne in another thrilling adventure from mysterious and colorful New Orleans.